Tell you later.
It's okay. You can wait.
Excellent.
You don't know what you're doing.
Oh wow, that's weird. Just picked a small little. I thought it was like a small little thing on my leg, and it's bleeding a lot. All right, welcome everybody to an all new episode of Much to Do About Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to go like wipe it, and I was like, oh, that's a handful of blood. Anyway, welcome to an all new episode of Much to Do About Nothing. I am your co-host Juwaan. This is going to be a very fun episode. We got some fun things to talk about. Some news came down over this last week, kind of towards the weekend. When did the Constantine news happen, Joel? Because we immediately text each other. It was the weekend, right?
It was a couple days ago. I could check.
Yeah, I think it was like
wasn't
the weekend,
long ago.
Yeah, not too long.
Not at all.
I remember we immediately text each other, just like, I don't know what the fuck is happening with this world.
Yeah, I sent it over. I was like,
And like 20 years later.
I'm like, it was definitely before football.
Oh, for sure, yes, 100%.
Like 2 days ago.
Because we were together Sunday. Yeah, we were together
Sunday night.
Yeah.
And then Saturday night. You're right.
Saturday night. Okay.
In terms of yeah, it was 3 days ago. So.
Okay, because that
like
was just
Friday.
That was stunning news. Because you know it's we're gonna get into that. Hold on, before we get into that, let me introduce my panel. Starting off with my co-host Trevon. What's up, Trevon?
Hey, what's up? I'm happy to be here. Can't wait to talk about all the stuff.
There's a whole bunch of stuffs, Trevon. Some stuffuses.
There is.
And my other co-host Joel. What's up, Joel?
What's going on, everybody? How's everyone doing?
I'm not liking how good of a weekend you had, Joel. You got your Constantine back. You got more Karate Kid. Your Giants won. You know what I'm saying? You got to see me. Like, you just had too good of a weekend. I don't
Fantasy is doing good, too, this week.
I don't even know what that is. That must be, is that what? Lord of the Rings? What is fantasy? All right. All right. Let's get right into it. We got breaking news that Keanu Reeves is coming back to play Constantine. The original director is slated to return also, but the one slight twist is that J.J. Abrams will be producing this said sequel, which led a multitude of people to believe that our black casting for Constantine is field goal kicked out of the arena. That's not happening. And that J.J. Abrams, as a way to get Warner Brothers off of his fucking back, said, you know what? Just give him the Constantine movie. Do it. I'll put my name on it. It counts as I did something. Now,
that's lazy.
Very lazy, Joel, right? Very. And again, we're joking. We don't know that that's the case. It feels like it. What do they always say, Trevon? If it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck.
It goes quack quack for them, sure.
You know what I'm saying? And I won't go into. I'll leave it to Trevon into the multitude of reasons why I don't like how essentially you went star power for the potential of bringing in a up-and-coming actor of color to portray this very... I'd say Constantine is probably more popular today than he's ever been in his entire comic run. Which is insane because when you think about it, it's so weird that Matt Ryan brought new life to Constantine, and he's not been able to be given this, right? Like something like this, where he can really stretch his legs, own the franchise. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. I gotta
talk about that. Yeah.
Oh no, I'll start with you then, Trevon. Go ahead.
Look, I listen. I love Keanu. Okay, but let me just start there. But we're not gonna sit here and like throw away Matt Ryan. I'm just so tired of that. I'm like, he is great in this character, and I was like, y'all need to give him something now. Stop playing with him like you giving him. What you give him like little parts on the Arrow, and then you put him in Legends, and now he's not even whatever he was. I just don't understand. Like, just
don't
why y'all
forget
doing
animation.
He was great at that too. Yeah,
he just did the animation
still
short.
Give him animation though.
Yeah, that seems like the world he's gonna probably forever live in is animation.
but he's like perfect in both mediums.
No
I'm just
arguments
like,
here.
I don't know. I mean, I just don't understand the Constantine thing from what was like 17, 20 years ago or whatever. Since Keanu did this
15 years.
character,
I'll say
so
this.
it's like
It's
what?
been so long. There's a generation that, well, no, I won't say only, but there's a generation that knows Keanu more so for John Wick than really anything else, right? So it's like, it's been that long that a full generation knows that man is John Wick. Somewhat is Neo, because obviously the Matrix just, they just dropped another movie.
I want to talk about
But
that
more
as well.
so John Wick than really anything else. But go ahead, Trevon, I'm sorry.
That's nothing I want to bring up. So they tried to bring back the Matrix. They didn't have to do that well. Like,
It's true.
John Wick, he's that great. He's great at John Wick. Now, that's great. But Matrix didn't do so well. Like, y'all might want to, reel it back.
Well,
I blame the Matrix more than I blame Keanu.
well, yes, I believe
I'm saying,
that.
but I'm pretty sure they're using him to, like,
that's a much harder
poster
thing to pull off, I think.
Well, also, to be fair, the only reason why, Trevon, this even remotely makes sense to me, right, of him coming back to do Constantine, and the reason why I won't even allow my brain to waste time stressing over it is they're only doing it for star power. David wants star power. He wants essentially, and you may not understand this reference, Trevon, but he essentially wants to build a Laker franchise, right? He wants names. Right? He doesn't even care. I've heard of them. So he wants to essentially build the Lakers franchise for Warner Brothers, right? He doesn't want the rookie that could turn into a star. He wants a guy that's already a star. He doesn't give a fuck about the process of building, right? So it's like
it's easy money. That's all.
Right. It's easy principal money.
So bring back Henry Cavill. Anyway,
no arguments there. No arguments there, but
that's what we heard, though.
let me say this really quickly, and I'm going to get back to you. I know you're not done. Let me get back to you, but I want Joel to talk about this because Joel made a great point. And that point, Joel, I'm passing it to you, which was you were telling me, like, because the first thing I said to you was, well, if you want star power, Ben, Henry, right? Like, you just, those are the home runs, right? And you were saying to me, and I want you to elaborate, you were saying, well, Juwaan, he probably doesn't want to do that because he doesn't have a head yet. You don't want to do all these things, and the head comes in and goes, I don't want any of that. Right? And now you got to take away what you just gave us. So go ahead and elaborate on that, Joel, because that was a great point. It was essentially like, we just have to wait for this head to come.
Yeah, my point was just that, like, any big announcements towards actors, you probably won't get till there's someone in charge. As of right now, he's in charge. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he can do whatever he wants. And look, we've already heard that they're fucking coming back. Like, we've heard Ben is coming back and fucking Henry's coming back. In what capacity, we don't know. That's really the question mark. But that's going to be, I mean, that's probably the best news we've gotten. And that's because it just makes sense. Like, everything they were trying to do before didn't make sense. It was just, we tried to make sense of it, but there wasn't much of it. And that was the problem. But without a key figurehead, that seems to be what they're looking for, they're probably holding off on that. So right now, he can make green lights like the Batman because it's separate, right? It's its own thing. He can do that with Constantine, which might be separate. Looks like it might be. It's a sequel to an already existing property. Easy money, Keanu Reeves. You know what I mean? We've already heard rumors that was a possibility like a year ago. You know what I mean? It wasn't that long ago. And the Joker. He came in loving the Joker, and if we got a sequel right off the bat, right?
Yep.
Look, it's already on the go. So that's why, to me, those are easier for him to, because he doesn't have to care about the world. It's just that one movie.
Individuality.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Sure.
So, well, I'll say this, Joel, not as pushback to what you're saying, but pushback to if this is their thinking, is the idea of what were we just saying, and this is obviously a topic that we'll get to later on in the show, but what were me and you just saying about the possible dangers of how popular Cobra Kai is, but on the other hand, you're trying to issue in a reboot of fucking Karate Kid. Why would you? You're trying to compete against yourself. So to me, it's like if you bring Constantine in, right, and you want to say it's its own thing, that again just adds to the confusion of, well, then when do you bring in another Constantine? And then the problem is, if this Constantine works, right? comes back, it's a fucking hit. I'm not saying anywhere near Joker or the Batman, but somewhere in between there, a number he's happy with. How do you then tell your fans we're going to reboot it? And to me, why would you? Why not just find a way to make this into the world that we know? You know what I'm saying? To me, I don't think you should continue to make franchises or movies that spawn off into being its own thing. At some point, you need to focus on here. Now, if they want to just make this movie and then address that later, no problem. I'm not in a rush. I just would be very much against them saying, hey, we brought it back, right? We're going to do 2 or 3 more movies with just Keanu in this world. And it's like, well, then that kind of ruins the idea that if Henry and Ben do come back, seeing Keanu Reeves, Constantine interact with the Justice League and creating the Justice League Dark. So Trevon, I want to pass it back to you for you to finish up your thoughts on this. But like, what else are you thinking as to the motives behind this? And again, take away, like, obviously, I know you're a huge Matt Ryan fan. We all are, right? But we know that's not a possibility, so we can get over that now, right? Yes. Shit, I keep forgetting we did, Joel. Yes, we did. So take that out of your brain, right? Mm-hmm. Have you seen the original Constantine?
Well, a long time ago.
Okay, yeah, so too long that you remember how you felt about it?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
because I'm like, I have to imagine it's all the things Trevon would want in the movie, right? Like,
yeah,
the
I'm sure it is. The character in general, the character in general,
right.
Of course. I enjoy that, but it's just like it was just so random to me. I was like, what's going on over there? Like, why green like this? Except if only on the back of Keanu, and I'm just like, okay, I guess. Mm-hmm. But it's just like that made more sense than what you said about the movies that don't connect.
Right.
Like that made more sense. I'm like, yeah, that's true. They do have the Batman, they have the Joker, and this. Those are the 3 they can do without having to worry about it. It does make complete sense. Now I'm like, okay, well now I get why they maybe did this. Like,
we haven't heard any green lights for connected movies yet.
Yeah, that could Spawn.
I rewatched it recently. It's a good movie, but not a good. Okay. See, okay. I like that you say this because I say this all the time about a certain movie. I'm not going down that road, but when I say it, people don't understand that you can separate the two. Something can be a good movie, right? Just not a good movie for what they were trying to do, right? So it's like, I left Deep Blue Sea, right? I'm sure that if you ask the director, that movie was not meant to be a comedy. But I left that movie going, this was one of the funniest fucking movies I've ever seen in my life, right? I guarantee you the director probably didn't see it that way. So I think 2 things can be true, right? Like, if you thought it was a great Constantine movie, great. Not here to argue that. I can make an argument it was a solid movie if I forget that it was supposed to be about Constantine. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, again, I'm not here to argue whether or not the movie was good, but I just like when people say that because I believe those 2 things can live in the same space.
I disagree with that statement. I do believe it was a good Constantine movie. I just don't think they just didn't nail Constantine physically, like his appearance. Mm-hmm. You know, because he's British, he's blonde,
right?
He smoked. Oh, they got the smoking. That wasn't a problem.
Yeah, it was a whole bunch of smoking in that fucking movie.
He's British, blonde. He wears the brown trench coat. I mean, those are just right there. That's the parts they didn't get. Everything else was good.
But that's why I feel as though I can accept
just fine. But
well, that's why I feel as though I can accept when someone feels that way, Joel, because we know there's so many issues of a character, right? And certain writers take different liberties with certain characters. So if you read one specific run, right, of that character, and that's how you vision it, and the movie is different from that, I can understand how you're like, well, that's not my Constantine. I very much felt that.
I could see Snaps thinking like that. But this was my introduction to Constantine. You know, this was my introduction to Constantine. I didn't know who the fuck that was. You know what I mean?
Don't say snobs, Joel.
That's a snobby way.
That's no. Because to be fair, and again, where it becomes snobbish, where it becomes snobbish, it does. But where it becomes snobbish is where you start to make people feel bad about liking it, and that's where I never like to cross the line.
Dislike it.
No. But that's what I'm saying. To me, I understand. To me, I could side with someone saying that's not what I wanted. I just don't side with people then making people feel bad about liking what they liked. That's where I think it's
No,
snobbish.
I prefer
yeah,
the traditional Constantine, the Matt Ryan Constantine.
right,
That's the way he should look, the way he
right,
should act, the way he should sound.
right. And I'm going to be honest with you. The biggest thing, and I'm shocked you didn't say this yet, Trevon, because the biggest thing for me, because of the progressive times we're in, and I don't mean that sarcastically, I mean that as a beacon of hope lighting the way forward. I like that Matt Ryan's Constantine explored his sexuality. I kind of wanted whoever my live action movie Constantine was to carry that on. I don't remember that being the case for Keanu Reeves' Constantine.
But again, Keanu Reeves' Constantine was also already very different.
Exactly, right. Right.
He had to take in a lot already.
Right.
And people didn't know he was bi at the time either.
No, of course. That's why I'm saying
again,
I don't think they'll change it now.
Just like with Blade. They did what Constantine, what people Marvel did with Blade. No one knew who the fuck Blade was.
Right. There's nothing to hate.
Here's the thing. Constantine came out. He made Constantine someone people knew, but he didn't redefine it like what he did with Blade. Because now every time you look at Blade, he looks like the fucking movie Blade. Right. Constantine went eventually back to the way he actually supposed to look because the TV show came out and it was more accurate. Right. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But now we'll live with I think hopefully there's some type of in between with this new movie where he kind of has a little bit of both. You know? Yeah.
And again, to me, and I know this is gonna sound. No, go ahead, Trevon. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I don't want you to forget what you were gonna say.
One shady thought I had was, I was like, somebody's gonna ask him, "How do you feel about Matt Ryan's Constantine?" And his response will judge how this movie gets.
I'm going to be completely honest with you, Trevon. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
If he says something stupid.
No, I'm going to be honest with you. I could see Keanu answering this honestly. Keanu is one of those people I can almost guarantee you probably hasn't watched anything that the CW's put out or back when it was on NBC. And to me, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think that's homework for you. I don't think if you're playing Constantine... Because remember, he was Constantine first, right? So that's weird telling somebody, hey... Go watch who replaced you down the line and get a feel of what Constantine should be. No, it comes down to what is the director, right? And J.J. Abrams want his Constantine to be. Do you want it to stay in the same vein of what we knew or what we know? And that's what it'll come down to. So that's why I said, Trevon, for you specifically, you're going to have to wean yourself off of Matt Ryan because you can't compare. Because they're going to be drastically different.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I hear you. A movie that should help soften the blow.
Right. Go watch that and think to yourself, they might go somewhere in between what I love and what lucky. This was. Right.
Yeah, they'll at least not by movie standard, because I think they nailed it more or less, like in terms of the aesthetic of the world that he lives in.
Oh, it's for that time, for sure. 100%.
It's just visually. I don't expect them to make him blonde. I don't expect them to make him British because he's not. Right, but if they give him the trench coat, that's already something in the right direction because that's
special effects
popular.
Have advanced.
Huh?
I said, special effects have advanced.
Yeah,
tremendously. Yeah,
so, and we saw with the mustache. You remember? Do we need to remind you?
Not at all. But
and now we have hair diet. It's not serious. It's just hair diet.
I can almost guarantee you, very few people from that universe will probably come back. And I think that's for best because I think. If you hold on to too much of what was, it scares people to believing in what could be. So I think it's better to
new characters.
To introduce new characters.
I wouldn't mind seeing the devil back, though.
I'm just saying, if you bring too much of the old cast back, people will start to fear that it is living in its own. It is living in its own world. And to me, I want the faint possibility of a door being left open for Zatanna to show up somewhere down the line, and then you bring it into the bigger the hierarchy of the DC universe. But if you bring in too much of old, I kind of feel like, well, are they really gonna merge it with the new at any point? I don't know. It makes me feel nervous. Trevon, you can't be bitching because we witching. That's a nice plan.
Well, we'll see.
A lot of witching in that show.
I'm just saying, Trevon, I'm not here to sell you on this movie. I'm just here to tell you that when you watch it, right? If it comes out, when it comes out, whatever. When you watch it, just don't have Matt Ryan goggles on. That's all I'm asking.
They need to hurry up with the movie as well. Again,
I don't think age matters to them. Because to me, Keanu Reeves. Well, here's the thing. Keanu to me looks younger every time he shaves. So it's like when he shaves, he looks like Keanu of yesterday.
I like he looks
when he
better
grows
now
it out.
as he's older with the beard.
Yes. Yes.
But Constantine, technically, if you need the comic book, is an older man. He's an older gentleman. He's not young. They've made him younger over the years to make him.
I was going to say, and again, Trevon's problem is, Joel, since Matt Ryan started to today, he looks exactly the fucking same. Right? So it doesn't look like, oh my God, he's so much older.
He doesn't age, so it's fine.
Right. But again, I don't know what their plans are. It's best not to think too hard about it. My only stress was just that I need this to connect. I don't want it to live on its own. I have no interest in it living on its own. Because to me, I don't think that this movie warranted a comeback outside of you thinking there is nobody in Hollywood right now hotter than fish grease than Keanu Reeves. I get it. I understand it. I understand the business behind it. But to bring that back, I think it's best it connects. Because that cushions the blow. Right? If it's not the greatest movie... Say it again, Joel.
What blow?
Because again, I think that is one of those niche films, right? To where it's like people are faintly aware that movie happened, right? People know the movie happened. They just faintly remember it, right? So I'm like, it's not like it was a massive callback. Like if Marvel said, hey, before Mahershala signed on, we're going to bring Wesley back. That is like, I doubt there's a living person that doesn't know Wesley Snipes was Blade, right? So I'm like, I could understand the multitude of reasons you would bring that back. But this?
I think he talked about it at one point.
He did.
Wesley.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I know Kevin might say otherwise, but I believe if Mahershala didn't make that call, we hear rumors that Wesley Snipes could be back as Blade. But it's like when Mahershala walks in, you just go, well, if we wanted to go new, that's a pretty big fucking name to go with, right? You don't say no to it. But I don't think if Mahershala didn't make that phone call, it's very possible, especially heading into the multiverse saga we were heading into, they bring Wesley Snipes back for sure. But Joel, I know you're not big into diving into what is going to be. You'd much rather focus on what is. So did you have anything else to add for Keanu coming back to do a sequel for Constantine?
Until they know what the fuck they're doing, I'm not going to try to wonder what they're going to do. I'm not.
I love it.
I'm not.
I love it. I mean, you can't go wrong there, right? Because then when people are like, hey, I'm upset they didn't do this, you're like, well, I had no expectations. So, so whatever.
They don't know what they're doing. So why should I care? I'm not stressing. So, like, Constantine's coming back with cool, awesome. Yeah. I remember that movie like it was yesterday. And I watched it a couple, I think, when the rumors started up like a year ago, whatever. I'm like, let me watch this. It's been a while. Like, I didn't believe it at first. And it turned out to be true a whole year later. But dope. Look, I'm happy for him. I know he wanted it. So, that is what it is now. Yeah. So let's get it done. So,
I mean, yeah, at this point, I don't want to hear anything bad about this shit.
Man.
Move forward with it, put it out. That's where my mind's at.
Well, that's one of my favorite characters. I love John Constantine, so that's big for me.
I will definitely say I became a fan favorite of Constantine's from Matt Ryan's NBC series.
It was a great series.
It just made me in love with the entire dark universe you could build. And NBC allowed them to get really dark. For a show like that, they got pretty dark.
Better in terms of darkness.
100%. But for NBC,
and they watered them down.
Right. But for NBC, I was proud of what they did. Yeah, after they canceled them, right?
Yeah, after they canceled. I mean, it was nice seeing them, but like
it was.
CW was not the place for Constantine.
Not at all.
But look, like I said, my first time even knowing who the fuck that was that movie. The opening scene sold me. It was in because I demon scared the shit out of me. The whole idea of like evil spirits and the fact that he was able to take that fucker down in the first scene of the movie, I was like, oh, that guy's cool.
I will say though, I am proud of Keanu hitting that full bingo geek card Matrix, John Wick, Constantine. He's about to do that. What's that project he's working on? Joel. Fuck. He's gonna be voicing the character. Fuck.
He did Batman.
I can't. Well, he did do Batman.
Coming that comic book.
Yeah, it's based off of that. Berserker. Was it Berserk?
Oh, that's his comic.
Berserker.
It's his comic book.
Yeah. No. I'm saying
Berserker,
that's another thing he's doing
on Netflix.
Obviously, the video game that everyone shitted on.
Yeah, they're doing a live action.
And the anime, right? Yeah.
Cyberpunk. He also is doing. He also did Cyberpunk. Yeah. So I'm like, he's hitting all the spots on his bingo.
Never even Marvel.
Well, that's been talked about. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out. All right, let's move on.
Silver Surfer.
I was about to say, I don't think you meant that.
I don't know about the
I'm like, I don't think you meant that.
Silver Surfer.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't hate it. I would not hate it. He has the monotone for it. That's for damn sure. But all right, let's move on. All right. A new Karate Kid movie is in the works, but not from the world of Cobra Kai. What?
Yeah, I tweeted about this. This pissed me off.
What? I was telling my aunt because I was telling her about it. Which, by the way, Joel, the Karate Kid movie you were telling me about is on Netflix.
Yeah, I think they're all on Netflix.
Yeah. So I see. I and her name was Hilary Swank.
Thinking of.
Right. Well, I'm only saying that, Trevon, to bring you in. I'm sorry, because we were having to
bring her ass into the show.
Yes, that's what Joel was saying. Joel was saying like that's the next step, right?
Her.
That's the next step. Bring her in. But I was telling my aunt when I was telling her about this because she loves the world of Karate Kid. She still hasn't seen Cobra Kai yet. I'm working on getting her into that. I know. I'm trying to get her into it. But I was telling her, because she's also a huge Rocky fan, she loves Creed, and I was telling her, like, could you picture if during Creed 1, they came out and said, we're rebooting Rocky? It's like, whoa, hold on. You're rebooting Rocky while you're trying to get the Rocky universe off the ground? That makes absolutely no sense, right? Like, why would you jump in between what's already going to start something anew?
The comment I saw was like, we're bringing it back to what the franchise was or something like that. I'm like, what?
So it's not Kung Fu, basically.
Cobra Kai is doing that. What do you mean? It's bringing it back to the franchise.
To me,
like,
I could accept this.
I think cinematically.
I could accept this if they were saying, hey, Cobra Kai's on its last 2 seasons, or hey, the viewership just isn't what it used to be. And then I'm like, okay, that's your backup, right? When Cobra Kai starts to fall off, no one watches it, boom, this whole new movie universe, right? But that's not the case. You could make a case that when Stranger Things ends in the next year or 2, Cobra Kai is what will keep the lights on, right? So I'm like, I don't really understand what fan out there you think is just yearning for new Karate Kid while Karate Kid is going. Because this is the new Karate Kid with Cobra Kai.
It is.
You know?
Okay,
so I'm like...
This is a sequel. This is a sequel. Like, this is keeping it going.
Sequel, yeah.
Like,
there you go.
The spiritual successor of the series is this show.
So, Joel, I want to start with you with this. What, like, you always see it from the business side, which is why I love talking to you, right? You try to see it from like, okay, I don't like it, but I could see why someone's viewing this. Can you do this with this situation? Can you rationalize this at all?
I don't know, because like when I first heard about it, I didn't like the idea because I'm like, why would you reboot it now? Like, I mean, even if Cobra Kai only has 2 seasons left, and by the time that happens, maybe the movie comes out after it's done. It's possible because I mean, it really is possible.
Which would be fine if that's the case.
But still, like, they tried to do a reboot of the Karate Kid, and to me, they failed miserably.
They damn sure did. Listen, I do not think about that movie at all.
You can't call it Karate Kid and not have karate in it. It just doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. As someone that knows the difference, it just was a bastardization of like, what the fuck? But
they tried.
They did. I mean, I didn't hate the movie. If they didn't call it Karate Kid, it wasn't that bad. But
they tried to redo the first movie. I was like, no.
Well, they did it, but they did it. They changed the race. They changed the country. They did it with a completely different style. They basically
tried.
So technically, what you're saying is, Joel, it wasn't a bad movie. It just wasn't a good Karate Kid movie.
Yeah, because there's no karate in it.
That's bad too.
I'm just saying. That's what you're saying. Okay, I don't disagree with you at all.
Last time I
don't
checked,
disagree with you
Constantine
at
was
all.
still in the fucking movie. Batman was in the movie. Karate. There's no karate in the movie. You can't call it something and not be something.
That's true.
False
That
advertising.
is true.
That's
that is true. But I will
Jackie
say,
Chan in there.
yeah, Jackie Chan, Jaden Smith, Taraji P.
I
Henson.
like the idea, but then you shouldn't have called it karate. Because it's not. Now just call it Kung Fu
Tried
Kid.
it.
Kung Fu Kid.
They really
It
tried
still
it.
rhymes.
Really tried.
So it's a spinoff of a spinoff of a spinoff. It's not Karate
It's,
Kid. We're Kung Fu
It's
Kid.
a different take. That's all. A modern day take
Reimagining.
with a different style. You just can't
Joel's like, you can't be Batman, but don't worry, you could be Batmite. Like, you can't be the real thing, but you could be the off-brand. Whatever you want, it's sitting right there for you. No, I mean, it's just, and you know what bothers me the most, Joe? I'm going to go right back to you if I pass to you, Trevon. What bothers me the most about this news is, and again, you can't really convey feeling, but Trevon, you know this because we're both super petty. You can feel when there's some pettiness, even in someone's typing, right? When the showrunner for Cobra Kai released his statement, you know what he sounded like, Joel? He sounded the same way Jared Leto sounded when they were making that Joker movie, to where it was like, I didn't fucking know about this. I don't like it. I don't want it. I will quit over it. Like, it very much felt like that. Like, it's like, bro, we're doing Karate Kid, and you're rebooting Karate Kid in the middle of us doing it.
Like them doing the Drago movie without Sylvester Stallone being a part of it at all.
Yes,
Like,
right.
No one even told me about this. I created the character.
Well, partially we know that comes down to the legalities of it. He doesn't fully own.
He doesn't own the character.
Right. So that comes down to.
What's the same thing with the writers? The writers don't own Karate Kid.
Right. The only problem I have with that is we're now in a position to where Creed is successful, to where Rocky is no longer in it. Right. He's still a part of that world, but he's not in it.
It's his
so
world.
Right. So I'm saying if you want to move into Drago, I can understand that, because it's not like Rocky is still in it and you're just skipping over Rocky.
His issue wasn't that about being in it. It was like him not even being a producer on it.
Right. Yeah, no, that I get for sure. But to me, you rebooting it, like, I'd understand if Ralph Macchio and those guys never came back, right? This is supposed to be like 20 years later, but in the same world, right? It's supposed to be the same feel. It's just 20 years later. Then it's like, okay, do whatever the fuck you want, because you technically rebooted it anyway.
And
that's not the case.
Sorry.
Right. Well, I don't watch it, but I will say I believe a lot of the success is because it's that feeling of what once was,
It's
right?
Nostalgia.
Yeah, right. That's the word. Thank you, Joel.
It lives off nostalgia. The new cast is really good too.
Yeah, the new
well,
cast
I mean,
awesome.
we already see that new cast is making stars. So.
Oh yeah, there's more to come. I'll tell you now. That's definitely.
But yeah, this. I don't know, man. I never want to talk down on something new, because that's what I told you I hated about the whole experience of David Harbour's help.
Well, maybe they're reaching out to someone like you. You won't watch the old Karate Kid. You don't watch Cobra Kai. They're like, maybe a brand new Karate Kid for someone that doesn't like any old shit is what we need to do.
And you know what's funny about Joel saying that? I sat in my room yesterday as I was going through Netflix, and I passed the Karate Kids, and I said, they might be doing this for me. Like, they might be like, hey, you don't really give a fuck about those movies and show anyway, right? Well, this is for you. And I'm like, well.
Have you ever watched them at all?
No.
No, that's not true.
Exactly,
Have I fully watched it? No. Have I watched some of it enough that I was not vibing? That's the one I started watching some of, and I just was not vibing.
When he fell asleep, he's like, oh, that was gay. I'm like, come on, man. Give it a chance.
I started watching because my aunt had it on, and I was just like,
Oh, you didn't even watch it by yourself. You were watching with your aunt.
No, wasn't even watching it with her. She had it on, and I just kind of like creeped up. It was just standing there like, oh, what's this? Oh, no, I don't like it. I'm going to keep walking through.
1, 2, 3.
But again, let me be very clear. I have not seen it, but I am not disrespecting it. I'm fighting for the legacy of what it is.
I'll say this: like, to watch the first 2 seasons, you at least see the first movie for it to make somewhat sense.
Okay.
But now going forward, they reference every movie.
Oh, they are pulling. They are pulling.
They're
all
pulling
kind of.
hard.
They really are. Like, I was
So
like,
what
this is
you-
great.
So what you're
Like-
saying is Hillary Swank is on her way, is what you're saying.
Oh, she should be.
I wouldn't be
She
surprised.
should be.
is what I'm saying. I would not be shocked after everyone they be pulling from the archives.
Here you go, Joel. This is for you. Ready? This is for you.
Yeah, I had the same reaction every week we talk about it.
I love the Karate Kid. I don't
Also,
watch it
this is for you.
often.
It was a good movie, it really was.
Yeah, I
Especially
just
for
think
its
that
time.
I just think that when you look back on Constantine, it's one of those. Trying to think of a word that's not disrespectful. Hidden gems. There you go. Hidden gems. It's one of those hidden gems that like few remember, right? But the ones that do think very fondly of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
They
saying?
probably got off the ground because Keanu Reeves wanted to do it.
Right.
And that's why they stayed closer to Keanu's look. And,
For a while. Before
right.
They revamped it.
Well, yeah, eventually, after so many years, that people forgot about the movie. They're like,
Right?
let's go back to what we were doing. I mean,
Right.
the original comic books.
But I do want to, and Trevon, I'm going to pass it to you for Karate Kid, but I do want to stress, the movie is not bad, right?
Mhm.
At all, by any stretch of the means. And for anyone who thinks it is, I will tell you a movie named Jonah Hex exists. That's a bad movie, right? Like, there's nothing redeemable about that movie. That's forgotten by everybody, including the people working.
Didn't they bring it into Legends? Didn't they bring
Say it
into
again?
Legends? They bring it
No,
into
not the
Legends,
same
right?
one. No, not the same one.
Oh,
But yes,
okay.
Jonah Hex, they did bring it into there, but not the same one. No, not the same one.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, Jonah Hex was also in Legends. Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
but not the same one.
Yeah.
They rebooted that also in that show. But Trevon, like you were saying, you being a big Karate Kid fan, I want to ask you this differently, right? Because I know you don't like it, so clearly I don't need to ask you that. So I want to ask you this instead: is there any way that this could create something you're interested in with this reboot?
It just doesn't make any sense to me. I was like, why do this? Like, why announce this now? Why do this now when Cobra Kai is like, I feel like great. Like, it's like, I don't get
A lot of people
why
agree.
do this to the franchise. I just don't like. I was like, why would you announce this? Why would you do this? And then I was first when I first saw it, I didn't know about the showrunner. I was like, oh, okay, maybe he's involved or something. Maybe they do something, a big tournament. I don't know. Something. Maybe they're doing something with it. But then when he came out and said that, like, we have nothing to do with it, I'm like, what the hell are they doing? Like, why do this movie? Why
Right.
do anything with this franchise while it's doing so well? Like, stop. Like, I guess you're trying to feed off of it, but that's not going to work. Like, after he came out and said that, now we know it's two separate things. Like,
Right.
now I know. Now that's ingrained in me. I don't care what you guys talk about this movie. I'm not going to care. So I'm like, okay, whatever. It has nothing to do with this guy. Unless you come back out and say, hey, we talked, and now we're working together. I don't care. Like, so I don't get why you did this. I just think it was a really bad decision. Yeah, I just don't get it. Like, they're literally pulling from every movie. Like, the next Karate Kid is the only one I feel like they haven't touched. like you might as well like come on and pull her in as well and go ahead and get all of them in because that's what they're doing.
So
it's
the
like,
Avengers.
Yeah, so it's like I don't know what else you're doing here. Why make this movie? Why would it be appealing? I just don't. I guess it's somebody that has no clue about Cobra Kai, but I feel like this is the pettiness to me. But I feel like as soon as they post a trailer for this new movie, people will put Cobra Kai shit under. Like, hey, check out something that's actually good. Here you go. I can see it. I might do it.
It's
But
asking
like,
to get memes.
it is. Like, it really is.
Yeah.
I'll say this. Again, it's someone that's not as invested as you.
Oh,
guys are.
and it also scares
Go
me
ahead.
that they might end the show. I told you how I feel about when they do stuff like this. It scares me that they might end the thing that we have already. Like, they're doing that.
Here's the one difference, right? When you're talking about taking the Flash off TV, right? Because you have a movie coming. The difference there is the CW's never been known to having massive ratings, right? So it's like the Flash and Arrow have always lived in the possibility of being canceled at any point, right? Because the ratings aren't sky high, right?
It's also on its 10th season.
Yes,
see,
right.
well, no, see,
Cobra.
I mean,
Well, Joel, I mean more so. You could have made an argument for the Flash in season 4, 5, 6, like anyway
Yeah.
along that
It just
path.
so
you
happens
could've-
that movie just kept pushing the line.
right, kept getting pushed. Right.
That's
But
not.
what I'm
you know.
saying is, Trevon, you could make an argument, and numbers back this, that Cobra Kai, outside of Stranger Things, is one of their massive shows. Like one
And
of
to
the
think-
shows that when they feel like, hey,
And
we
the funny
need
that
numbers, Cobra
it was
Kai is there.
canceled. The funny
Yeah,
thing is
it was on
it was
YouTube
canceled.
Red.
It was
2 seasons, nobody watched it because no one fucking had YouTube Red.
I
And
was
they
just
weren't
about
gonna
to say
buy
that.
it.
Nobody had that.
For that.
Nobody had that. Nobody had that.
I watched
Nobody.
it. But I'm just saying. But
No. I'm not
Yeah, I
saying no
know,
one
that's
watched
the
it.
thing.
I'm just saying to get YouTube Red, a lot of people are like, the fuck?
Well, that's the worst
What?
part. We heard great things about it, but no
Yeah.
one had YouTube Red, and no one wasn't going to subscribe to it just for Cobra Kai.
Right. Not at all.
And then Netflix bought it.
Especially with
And
the
bam.
weirdness of like, will it stay good? How much money am I paying for something I don't know if it will stay good?
Right.
So when it gets to Netflix, you're like, bitch, if this shit ain't great, there's so many fucking Pablo Escobar documentaries I could watch instead, right? So it's like, you're not really worried about it, right? And then boom, it's a massive global hit, right? So it's like, I don't think you're making this movie because whoever the studio is for Karate Kid is desperate. I don't think that's the case. You're just doing it because I guess you feel like, let's do something new? But who are you catering this new to?
This is Sony too, right?
I
this
think Sony is. I
think it was Sony.
That's
That's what made me really look at it funny. I was like, please
Well,
sit down.
Sony-
sit down.
Sony doing
If-
so many things.
Well, if Sony wants to learn from something, that Men in Black International was not a good look. It was not a good look. And here's the crazy part. Time out. And here's the crazy part. When I saw that movie, well, here's the difference. The entire world isn't familiar with Bloodshot, right? So a lot of people, they might have just seen it as like mindless action. Who gives a shit, right? And me and Joel even said we could have tolerated that movie if the motherfucker just stayed looking more comic accurate longer, right?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the worst movie I've ever seen.
Did
No,
you
but-
see?
It was a fun
On top
action
of-
movie.
Right. On
Did you
top
see the
of
web series they made? of
yes,
that?
yeah,
That was
yeah,
incredible.
Yeah.
yes, Jason David
Like,
Frank, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
That's what
Yeah.
he should have been the whole
That's
movie.
I was
love
like,
that.
Right. Shout out to
But
Joel.
that's
because That's
another-
the only reason
that
I
was
knew
a
about
slap in
that.
the face of something that was done right.
But that's another example of a
That's my
character that looks one way, should look one way, and they only present it for like 10 minutes.
Right, and that's also the bigger
That was
problem
Sony as well.
of right,
was
but that's
Sony.
also the bigger problem of you bringing in a bigger name,
Big name, yeah.
right? And not
But it's not like he
caring
wears
about
a
the character,
fucking mask.
It's fast.
He's just white.
right? You don't change your face outside of
Yeah,
just what's
you
on your
don't.
chest, and your face is
Yeah.
white. That's
Yeah.
it. That's really
You
it.
don't
Me
wear
and
a
Joel were
mask.
watching it, and we were like, "Oh, he's okay. He got the look." And then when he was done fighting, it was just like power
went
off.
away.
We were like, "I'm sorry, huh? What? Like, I don't understand. What did you just do?" But the reason I brought up Men in Black was they used two people
Mhm.
that are big right now, right?
Mhm.
And you tried to tell a different narrative. The problem is
Ooh.
what Men in Black used to be is so massive. You have to do something drastically different, and it wasn't drastically different enough, right? It immediately made people go, you couldn't have just offered Will Smith half your lot. Like, give him $80 billion, whatever it costs to bring him back, right? So I'm like, Karate Kid, you look at Cobra Kai, that's what they did. They said, instead of trying to get you to buy into a whole new world, let's blend it. A new world that the old people live in,
Great
right?
job, too. Mm.
So I'm like, I think Chris Hemsworth and I always forget her name. God, who was in International with Chris Hemsworth?
Tessa Thompson.
Tessa Thompson, thank you. I think if you had Tommy Lee Jones in it, right, or just somebody big from that Will Smith era, you could have ushered that in a lot better, right? But because it felt so disjointed from the universe, it didn't do well. So I'm like, if you're gonna do this Karate Kid
and
reboot,
it just wasn't good.
that's fair. That's also fair. But I can make an argument Men in Black 3 wasn't good either. But to me, I kind of feel like if you're going to do this Karate Kid movie, guess what? You know what makes it a lot harder for you? you now have the unbearable task of having to be drastically different than what Cobra Kai is.
Yeah, you have to.
That's the hard part, right?
Different and better. Because
no. Because here's the thing. No. Here's the thing, though. You guys, you guys grew up with that original Karate Kid, right? And now you merge in the Cobra Kai.
To get me
Here's
to
the
see
thing.
it. That's what I'm saying.
No. But what I'm saying is,
they gotta
Trevon,
do something.
I kind of feel like to some people, you'll never be better than that, right?
Mhm.
So I'm like, the job is not to be better. It's just to be different and good, right? But now you have to be so much different. That's the hard part. And as Joel said, that's what Jackie Chan's Karate Kid tried to be, and it failed, right? It failed. It was just like, hey, let's not even put karate in it. No one will know.
I know.
Everybody noticed,
Oh, yeah.
right? So it's like, that's going to be the hard
Almost
task,
racist.
and God bless you. And God bless you. Joel did make the great point. I couldn't stop laughing. He said, how the fuck you give no karate with Jackie Chan? How did he even say yes to this? Like, who was this a favor to? That you got him to sign on to this shit.
Jackie said, I just gotta walk around and talk.
That's essentially what he said. I ain't even got to move my body.
Bet.
All right, fuck.
I mean, Jackie Chan doesn't do karate. He does kung fu.
He does. He does. But how did you sell him on that movie is what I'm very curious.
I don't know how you sold anybody that this movie is going to be called The Karate Kid and have no karate.
That's how they sold him. It was called Karate Kid. They were like, yeah.
They sold the name.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, you know, like that's the IP.
Right.
Karate Kid in a word.
It's like doing Ghostbusters and having ghosts.
It's like, hey, we're not going to use any ghosts for this movie. It's real people. What? Like,
Excuse me?
I don't think you understand this movie, but okay. So I think we're all in agreement of we'll see.
Good luck,
Right?
Sonny, in all your future endeavors.
I'm just saying, Trevon, I would ask you to just be slightly open to the possibility it could be different and good. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe
Animal Loving Craven
or something.
Animal Loving Craven. It's the problems over there. Like they need to get together. I don't know.
Maybe they're gonna, they have to. If it's gonna be called Karate Kid, it has to stay karate.
I mean, Craven's supposed to be a hunter, but he loves animals.
So wait,
and stuff.
wait. Let me ask this really quickly before I
haven't
move on.
seen the movie yet.
I just know what I've been told. Okay, I don't know.
Let me ask this before I move on. No way you do Mr. Miyagi, right? In this reboot, no way, right?
They did it in the last
Version of Mr. Miyagi, yeah.
No. I mean, obviously not the original. I mean, no way you can call him Mr. Miyagi is what I'm saying.
I mean,
you mean
they did in the Jaden Smith one. I mean,
no?
Well, again, that's what. Wait, wasn't he Mr. Miyagi?
He wasn't Mr. Miyagi.
he wasn't.
No.
Oh,
What
okay.
was his name?
Right
See,
now.
it's been so long ago since I seen the damn movie. I seen it one time, so I was like, "Yep, never again." But yeah,
What
okay,
year
well,
that come up?
they tried. That's what he's supposed to be.
Ooh, Jesus, these Titans are. Oof. You might
Christ
have to
is mercy.
Jesus. Because I'm like, there's no way you can call the character Mr. Miyagi, because then you're not being different. You're literally just trying to piggyback off of what the original was.
Yeah, but you still have the mentor type character.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I'm just saying, I don't. I was just asking if they called him Mr. Miyagi, would you
No,
have a
his
problem
name
with
is Mr. Han.
Mr. Han?
That's
Okay.
what his name was. Okay.
Yeah, and then Jaden's character was Dre.
It did not
Did I
try
remember
there.
that? Oh,
But Joel,
there was
would you
Taraji,
be?
Jaden, and Jackie. I don't know.
Would you be this? Which should have been a powerhouse of a collective, but oof. Would you be disinterested if they did try to call him Mr. Miyagi?
If they tried to call it. No, I mean, because if it's a legit reboot, it's a kind of expected.
Okay.
But I'd rather it was a reboot in the fact that it's a whole new characters,
Okay, gotcha.
both in
No
a
problem.
I would say it's disrespectful to call him Mr. Miyagi.
I wouldn't be, because that's what happens in reboots sometimes.
Yeah. That's why I was asking, because sometimes in reboots they're just like, nah, run it back.
modern day.
Same thing.
Now
run it back.
we're more sensitive to replacing
Right.
actors. But that's gotta stop. Like they're just
It's not.
I love
we're
how
not-
Joel said that.
Look, we're not starting Mr. Miyagi. Okay. Do somebody else. Okay. Do another character.
I think it should be somebody else. But
I love how you said that shit, Joel. That shit was fucking hilarious.
Mhm.
All right, let's move on. That was really fucking funny. It's just like, just don't do that shit anymore. All right, so I want to go to this because I just heard this information today, or not today, yesterday or the day before. So I never heard anybody talk about the scene that was actually shown, the extended scene that was shown of Secret Invasion for D23 exclusively.
Oh, see.
Just the scene. It's an extended scene, not the full thing. The trailer we got was about the exact same thing they got, except for an extended scene that had Rhodey talking to Nick Fury. And it went along the lines of Nick Fury telling him, hey, you know, how well do you know your security detail? Just like in the trailer.
Right.
And Rhodey was essentially, I'm paraphrasing here, telling him, you know, what do you mean by that? And Fury was, you know, bringing up Skrulls. And Rhodey said something that I wanted to talk to you guys about because I thought it was very fucking interesting. So, because I know you guys both heard it. So for the audience, apparently Rhodey says in the footage, he's known about Skrulls for 15 years. That is very fucking interesting. That lines him up with Iron Man 2, which means he's known about Skrulls since around Iron Man 2. That is very fucking interesting. So, Trevon, because you are more keen to go down a rabbit hole with me than Joel is, I will ask you.
I'll do you a favor. Call me when you.
I hate Joel. So, the question I was going to ask you has nothing to do about Rhodey being a Skrull or anything like that. Is how big do you think the Skrulls have been in the MCU that the government has been talking about this for 15 fucking years? Like, how really important are these Skrulls in the MCU right now?
See, that I'm like, now I'm starting, you know, ever since we saw, was it Far From Home? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Far From Home, ever since we saw that, and the way they did it so, like, casually, they were like, oh, you know, Nick Fury told me to do this, he's just up in the space station. I was like, you that comfortable with them impersonating you like that?
Right.
And you not being involved until the end? And then for him to tell you, oh, hey, this. Like, you get,
Well, remember, Talos was saying in the car that everything he did, to a degree, Fury told him to. Fury told him to give him the gift from Tony. Fury told him to, you know, stuff like that.
You gave them those glasses. Like,
Right.
When I think I was like, you gave them something that powerful. You gave them the
trusts-
access.
He trusts Talos, though. He trusts Talos.
But that means he gave him your, like, you had Fury access, like, to a lot of stuff. And I was like, that is kind of dangerous because you like, yes, you trust him, but what if he was like, you know, Fury ain't watching me. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna transfer this. I'm like, you know, like,
yeah.
I'm gonna give this to this person. Like, it's just, I just wonder. I'm starting to wonder. I'm like, well, how deep and how far back? Because this show. That's why I feel like I'm a little worried about how long this show is.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't need any filler. I need to know.
It's 6
exactly.
episodes. It's 6 episodes. Because there'll be about an hour. There'll be about 45 minutes. Yeah, there'll be about 45 minutes.
Hopefully they like really use that. Like, no, like, you know, let them credits be. Let the whole episode be an hour, and let the credits be the 7 minutes after that. But an hour and 7 minutes or something. Because, like, I need you to really use it because you really got to explain to me how this gonna go. Because Fear, we saw that you gave him so much trust, and now why are you here? You already let him run him up, so now you here. Well, why? Like, I just really like you come and ask her like, you know, how much do you know about your security detail? I was like, you let them run around as you. Like, you can't be coming down here now trying to police it. You like,
do you then question if maybe Rhodey has some Skrulls that work for him, like Fury has Talos?
See, I feel like that can get real messy real fast.
That could.
Like you got a lot. Like, if all of y'all are doing it, like, you're gonna lose control of this. Like,
that's how it becomes an invasion. That's how it becomes an invasion. Yep, you're absolutely right. You're not wrong at all.
The paranoia that will ensue for everybody.
Well,
they're
remember,
like, well, shit.
they said it's supposed to be a paranoid thriller. That's insane because thrillers already ensue paranoia.
Yeah, so it's like,
so it's like this is doubling down on that, Trevon. It's doubling down on it, man.
like I said, after the Fury thing, and then I'm just like I saw in that movie, and I like tried to like just, and then in the WandaVision, when the lady came, she was in whatever group she was in.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, "Oh, Fury sent me." I'm like, "Where were you at? What group were you in?
Well,
how more of them are you?"
You'll like group? This, Trevon. In the Marvel's trailer, Fury is in it, and the scene that they showcase Fury with, I think they said it's called Saber, and he's with Monica Rambeau.
Okay.
So it literally, her story will essentially pick up, filling in the blanks of like, okay, why did Fury want you? Is it because he knew your mother? Like, what's the connection there for the Marvels? And apparently she's in a scene with Fury and then switches spots with Kamala Khan. So I'm like, that movie's gonna be really interesting. But like you said, it does begin to snowball. But again, that's what Joel doesn't like about the idea of bringing in Skrulls, is because it then snowballs into just like, now I gotta sit here and fucking deal with people thinking, oh him, oh her, oh them. Like,
it sounds like they're very integrated into our government and everything. So it's like, how far does it go? Like now, and are they gonna be able to explain it good enough for us to be like,
well, I just look forward to that part.
Joel's like, I just want to know what the fuck.
I don't want to think about that. The idea just gives me a headache.
And it better make sense. Like, don't tell us this person was a Skrull and it don't make sense. It better make
that's
sense.
Joel's worst nightmare. Like, I would not want to be the person that has to talk to Joel if Marvel tries to tell Joel that Rhodey is a Skrull. I would not want to be that human being. I just wouldn't want to be. I wouldn't want to be that person. Wouldn't want to be. Couldn't do it.
You're like,
I'm not brave enough.
Now for the last 2 years.
I'm not brave enough to do it.
To be specific, because he's getting his own show.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you can't just say, he's been a Skrull.
Well,
what?
Let me ask you this, Joel, and then we're going to get off of Skrulls, because I don't want you to try to leave again. We're going to get off of this topic. Let me ask you this. Does hearing that line from Rhodey invoke any curiosities from you on how intertwined the MCU has been truly with Skrulls since the events of Captain Marvel?
No.
Snowball. Not at all?
No, snowball.
It's a snowball. Gotcha. Okay. No problem.
I'll let them explain it to me. I'm not trying to piece together anything. Just
Joel would give up in a real life. Yes, 100%. Because it means he would have to think. Like,
I'm not playing Clue with them motherfuckers.
Like, honestly, what would you do? Like, I have no idea who is who.
Yeah.
Like,
it's fucking annoying. It really is. Like,
I'm gonna be honest with you. First thing I'm doing is trying to figure out how can I become one of y'all. Like, fuck it, I want an invasion. I'm not doing.
They can become you.
Hey, do something so we can be in this shit together.
Look, I don't give a damn what y'all doing. Just become somebody that can walk in the bank. Give everybody.
Yes, Trevon. Okay. All right. We're getting off this topic. We're getting off this topic. But I will say the main reason why you should not introduce Skrulls to to Juwaan and Trevon is because the first thing I would do is rob a bank, right? And then when they come looking for me, bring the Skrull in and go, it's fucking him, right? It didn't have the Skrull deal with that shit, right? They run away, blow up the police, whatever the fuck they want to do. But I'm richer. I just robbed that bank and got away with it. Fucking thing I'm trying to do. First thing I'm trying to do. All right, but let's move on. Trevon, this is why we can't be given any kind of power. This is why. This is exactly why. I don't have it on here as my ticker, but I do really quickly want to talk about GTA 6 being leaked. Yeah. Whoever did it, I love you. Bravo. Can you maybe do it for Wolverine and Spider-Man too?
Let's hope they survive.
Well, I don't give a fuck. That's their problem.
They're coming for them. They're coming for them.
Trevon, have you not learned from what I said about D23 and San Diego Comic-Con? Leak the shit, and whatever happens to you is your problem. But at least I now know what I wasn't supposed to know, and that's really all I care about.
And they're talking about they got more too. I said, "Oh, you brave."
Leak it.
Leak
that shit.
More.
Leak it.
Ooh.
I'm like, damn, I got upset when I heard that it leaked. I'm like, you leaked the wrong game. I don't give a fuck about that right now. Because we know GTA 6 is at least 15 years away, right? We care about Spider-Man 2 and the Wolverine. Leak that shit. Or, better yet, Joel, you'll like this. Leak that Wonder Woman game. So we can see what the fuck that shit's about, right? Like, you're leaking the wrong shit.
Somebody say, I'm sick of y'all re-releasing 5.
You goddamn right.
5 million times.
What did they leak though?
So, no.
Oh,
so essentially what they leaked was gameplay. So all I
Mm-hmm.
saw was gameplay. So it was unfinished gameplay. And it looks the next gen of that shit looks fucking sick. But you're able to do a whole bunch of shit. You obviously have you have a female lead now. A character you can switch in between a male and a female.
Oh, smart.
But it looks great. But to me, I'm kind of like, what I don't understand is if you're GTA 6, and I know the developers work hard, you don't want to leak, their work before they're finished. I get it.
Yeah.
But to me, I don't understand the downside of it. It's not like a movie. Like if I leaked Secret Invasion right now, it ruins the whole release of it, right? But the whole point of a video game is for you to fucking play it. So I'm like, if you just showed me what it looks like, I don't then get the game and go, well, I can't play it. I've already seen what it looks like. No, I want to play it now.
Especially if it's unfinished, you don't want them to judge it unfinished.
Right.
That's fair. But when you look at it, it looks unfinished. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Good.
So I'm
but
like,
some people like they'll be like, "Oh, it looks terrible." And I'm like,
yeah, some people don't think straight. And they're like, "Oh, that looks terrible for them." Like,
here would be my rationale.
It was leaked.
Right.
Well, also, but here's the biggest thing. Never gave a release date. So it's not like they told you it'd be out in Christmas and it's like, you're not done yet? Bitch, I didn't tell you when it was coming out. Who cares?
It is much farther along than people have expected it to be.
Well, Trevon, I believe they've been working on this game 15 years ago and it'll come out another 15 years.
Well, that's another problem.
They're going to find a way. They're going to find a way to do a re-release of Red Dead Redemption 2 before this fucking game comes out. I'm guaranteeing.
Now what this does to them, they cannot re-release 5 again because they will be thrashed.
It makes it difficult. It makes it difficult.
Do 5 again somehow, people will be like, if you don't put that shit away, and give us this new damn game.
You know what? No. I push back on that. Because if this fandom hasn't demanded that shit yet, it'll never... Trevon, they still keep playing 5. And by they, I mean me. We still keep playing 5.
People keep saying about Mario Kart 8. But that damn thing is persistent past systems.
Hey, look. Let me tell you a little secret, Trevon.
And they're re-releasing all the tracks.
Let me tell you a little secret. Have you played Super Smash Brothers for the Switch?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought to yourself, man, I would love another one of these games?
No, because I haven't played it in a while. So
okay, I'm sorry. I'll speak for myself.
I get tired of it.
Let me take you out. Let me take you out of it. I've been asking for a follow-up. Would you like to know why I'll never get one?
Can I keep adding characters?
No, because people like Joel keep getting the characters that they release and playing that shit. Well, it's Joel that's ruining it.
They're not releasing any more characters.
Well, yeah, they're done now. But when they were Joel, you were there. You were a culprit.
Because they only come out for new systems.
Right, that's what it seems like, yeah. So we gotta wait for a Nintendo Switch XD or some shit. It's like, oh, well, here's a new...
and maybe we'll get a new Smash.
I'm telling you right now, Super Smash Brothers and GTA 6 are on a crash course to see how far you can expand yourself before you really truly need to make another one. Only difference is, Trevon, I believe Mario Kart is it has such a cult following, right? I don't think it is a global phenomenon the way GTA and necessarily
if you look at them sales charts, it is.
For sure, because I think it's a nostalgia thing. It's
a party game.
Right. It also is a game you can bring a whole bunch of people together.
A whole bunch of people can play that shit.
Oh, by the way, I did want to give Switch some love. I see you guys looking out for me, dropping that golden eye. You know what I'm saying? I see y'all trying to make sure I don't come out my house for a good 4 months. I see y'all. And I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I see y'all. I appreciate that. Oh, cannot wait. Trevon, you better download it.
Xbox is getting the non-online one or something.
Right. Which
Nintendo was like, we're getting it.
Yeah, so I need you, Trevon, to get it. I need you to get it for Switch. and Joel to get it for Switch, so I could just murk y'all for like a whole afternoon.
I'm not a first-person shooter guy.
Joel, neither am I, but GoldenEye is the greatest game ever assembled, so you need to play it. I don't know what to tell
I
you.
play the
I
ones
would definitely
I
try
like.
it.
No,
It's
you
not
need to play
GoldenEye.
GoldenEye. No, stop it. What the fuck is wrong with you? Anyway, yes, I did say that. I am still playing Grand Theft Auto 5. I don't know what to tell you. It's one of the greatest games I've ever played.
I've never. I said this before, but I've never played all the Grand Theft Auto games I've played. I've never done the actual story. So
And that's why I don't like those games.
I just
know
go
what's
around
crazy?
shooting.
You know what's
putting
crazy?
Cheating, get my rocket
I'm
launcher,
gonna throw in a really quick rank. I'm gonna throw in a really quick rank that might surprise people.
beat somebody with a bat.
These are some of the best stories I think GTA has ever had. I'm gonna go 5.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Vice City. I'm gonna go San Andreas.
How'd I play?
And then I'm gonna shock people. The Ballad of Gay Tony was really fucking good. I love that game. They made a game that's kind of like, remember how the Miles Morales game was kind of like an add-on to the Spider-Man game? So for GTA 4, there were 2 add-ons. One was like Sons of Anarchy, like a whole biker game, right? The other one was called Ballad of Gay Tony, where you were like essentially like a muscle for this gay guy named Tony.
Oh.
And you essentially had to do his beckoning, right? And it was it was so much fucking fun. I love that game with all my heart. It had a great story too. So I'm just saying for some of the games, you should check out the story. The one with Nico, which is 4, and then the one for 5 are phenomenal.
I never played 4 or 5. I played 1, 2, and 3, and I stopped.
Oh my god! Oh, you stopped at the worst time.
Well, I'm not a big game Grand Theft Auto person.
And I get you.
What Trevon likes to do, I like the opposite.
But see, you have the same thoughts of GTA that my dad does. You think it's essentially just, I'm not driving around shooting people, running over people. That's why I'm saying the story of 4 and 5 is equally. I'll say this, Joel. The story for GTA 5 is just as good, if not better, than Red Dead Redemption 2.
Ooh,
in Red Dead Redemption, you essentially could do the same thing you could do in GTA. If you wanted to, you could just ride around on horseback killing motherfuckers. But you played the story.
I love Red Dead was great.
And I'm saying, I think if you play GTA 5, you would love it also.
I like a lot of those type of games. Like, I just finished Ghost of Tsushima today.
Wait, could you just run around and just randomly kill people in that?
No, not randomly kill people, because it's not enough. You can't kill innocent people, no.
It's directed, though.
No, it's free. It's free roam. But it's like there's not random fucking civilians you can stab.
Oh, just walking around. Gotcha.
Yeah, you can't. You kill the people that you're supposed to kill. The whole point is to save that island from the Mongols. You know.
Damn. See, I wouldn't have known that. I would have been there like, they're not letting me stab this lady cooking her dinner. I don't know what's happening here.
Yeah, and I don't like that. If you could do that, I wouldn't like it. Honestly, I don't like that freedom.
Well, I'm saying the only reason why I'm trying to stress on you to try GTA 5 is that it's exactly like Red Dead Redemption 2. Because again, in Red Dead Redemption 2, you could have roamed around and just did whatever the fuck you wanted to, but you followed the story.
Yes.
GTA 5, you could do the same.
I get bored if I start roaming.
That's what I'm saying.
I need direction.
And you want to know why you also love GTA 5, Joel? Because it's not just one character. It's not just 2 characters. You have 3 characters to go in between, to do stories for. So it's like you just have endless stories you could do between the 3 of them. You should never be bored at any point playing that game, because there's just so much story to go through. So one day I think I might get it. If I got it for you, would you play it?
I don't know. I'll play it, but I don't know if I to be fully invested. I need time, you know?
No. Well, here's what I would want. I would want you to play it and see if it's your thing. If it's not,
I know how it plays. I've played them before.
No. I mean the story. See if the story is your thing. Like if you enjoy the story.
Isn't it free on PlayStation 5 right now?
Is it?
I just got it, so I don't know.
well, check that out for me, Trevon, because if it is, you damn sure better believe make Joel download that shit tonight.
I'm downloading Horizon Zero Dawn because I have the sequel came with the system.
Oh, Joel, don't do that. Just focus on the show. Just focus on the show. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about the game. They're gonna make a show out of the game.
Yeah, but I want to play the game.
That's okay. Fuck the game.
I have this free. I have the game. I have the sequel for free, so I'm not playing the sequel until I finish the first one. So.
You want to know why I don't respect you saying that, Joel? Because how far did you get in that fucking first-person shooter that Eli Roth's making a movie about with fucking Kevin Hart and Kate? See, exactly. So fuck
that's
that
not
game.
my. That's not my style.
That's
first
fair.
person.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
I tried. I gave it a chance because I look forward to it.
Right.
That's just. I'm not a
You're
fan of
just
first-person shooters to begin with, and it's like an RPG first-person shooter. So I mean, not that I dislike that because I do like it, but crazy.
I do know people keep wanting us to do streams, and maybe at some point, relatively soon, I might do a multiverses stream. Maybe that's a stream I'll do. That's a stream we'll do. Because Trevon, you got multiverses, right?
Never played it, but I will. Because it's free, right?
Yeah,
it is free.
Yeah, it's the beta, right, Joel?
It's the beta.
Yeah. You just gotta find it though. I don't think is it accessible to everybody now, Joel?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Okay. Yeah. Download it, Trevon, because me and Joel were talking about
open beta.
Yeah, me and Joel were talking about playing. So download it.
What? I guess you can play across systems.
Yeah, Joel said it's cross.
Like a PC, Xbox, PlayStation.
Yeah.
Okay.
So get it and let us know.
Okay.
All right. Let's move on from this. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, all right. Let's get right into this. Ooh, excuse me. All right. Woo! Man, I can tell you this. From what I saw Sunday night, I'll never attend another wedding. That's for goddamn sure. I'll never attend another wedding. That is for damn sure.
Messy.
Goodness, Trevon.
Why
are you so messy?
I was tweeting you something.
Wait.
I just watched it.
I'm about to say something that might offend somebody listening. But man, during that entire wedding, all I kept hearing was just snaps like, oh, just fucking messy, bitch. Oh, bitch. Like, that's all I kept hearing.
It was so shaky, the whole thing. Like, the whole episode was like.
That was so weird, that scene.
Allison was so, like, annoying. I was like, what's wrong with you? Like, chill out. You worry about what's going inside of her. Chill out.
Let me just say this. You know what bothered me so much? You know what bothered me so much was that her bodyguard, right, and the guy's boyfriend, they were acting like when this marriage happens, they will then cease to exist. They'll just die. They'll just disappear like Thanos. And I'm like, bro, y'all can still fuck around. You just can't be as open with it.
Look, he
like,
killed me with you want me to be your whore? I was like, what's wrong with you? I was like, chill out, bro. Like,
Trevon, we will not promote being a Game of Thrones couple, okay? We will not promote that. I would be it.
I was like, what? You complain about that? Like,
I tell you right now, if she called me to her chambers and said, "Hey, what I'm about to do is hit it and quit it," you can't tell nobody. I say it's forgotten. I just wanted to enjoy this moment. You ain't even got to worry about it.
I
close mouth.
Okay, like I get his honor or whatever he got going on. I hear you, bro, but you already did it.
Nah,
you already did it.
Nah, like, that's weirdo energy, bro.
You already did it. Like you can't no moral now. Like you done done it now. So
that
it's like chill out.
Now. That's what it is.
That's exactly all it is. He just wants to die. Yo, okay. So where I started losing my mind was when the queen goes to him and she's like, "Bro, all right, for real, just tell me, like, just is it happening?" And he's like, "Yeah, I was fucking her." It's like, "I'm sorry,
and
you were fucking her." She was
Damon.
like,
Yeah.
I didn't even know you. Like, oh, ew.
She's like,
okay.
No, if anything, she's like, well, I guess that's better than what I thought was going on.
But wait, hold on. We're not going to argue that, obviously, the uncle and the niece is completely wrong.
Yeah.
But my question is, why was the queen so offended as if the uncle was her brother? Like she got offended like, motherfucker, it's family now. It's like, well, no, not yours. Like, she got deeply offended like, I will burn this motherfucker down if he's doing this shit.
They're in love. I think she likes Rhaenyra. Honestly.
Really?
That's what I think it is.
Okay.
That's
you know what?
She's so upset.
You know what? You know why I won't push back? You won't understand this reference, Trevon, because for reasons I still don't understand, you won't watch the show. But I remember when I heard people a while ago assuming that Mike in Stranger Things was in love with... I'm sorry, Will in Stranger Things was in love with Mike. I remember going, what the... I'm like, hell no, what the fuck are y'all talking about? And then you see this recent season, and you're like, that was a weird curveball. But okay. All right, that was weird, though. So if she does, bless you, if she does, I would look at it like that, to where it's like...
You remember how they were at the beginning of the show, and you saw how upset Rhaenyra was when he announced the house, and she was like, what?
Yeah, she was like, you bitch.
I really think they were like, at least something was brewing there. Like, I don't think they ever did anything, but I think
I'm
they
still
were.
fucking your daddy.
I don't think honestly she didn't want to do that either. You saw that he summoned her to the chamber as she was laying there.
Wait, hold on.
She was definitely sweet talking to him.
Wait, did Joel just say, I'm still fucking your daddy?
That's what
Yo, that is the energy she gives off every time she sees her. Like, bitch, stay in your place. I'll fuck your pops right now. But yes, he does have pure black Air Force energy. Yes. His dragon does need to be black, or at least play some kind of hip hop when that dragon comes around. Because when I tell you to say to your brother, yes, I did do what you thought I did, but what the fuck are you gonna do about it?
He's like,
is the most purest energy I've ever seen a person have.
He didn't just admit it. He's like, let me marry her.
He doubled down on it. He's like, I'll marry her. I get her off your hands if she's on beer.
Let me take. She's mine.
I mean, you know what I'm
that
saying?
whole situation, that whole situation just makes me cringe. The whole thing, like every time he talked to her, when they were in the middle of the dance floor talking or whatever, I was like, y'all too close. Back up. Back the fuck up. Like it's like y'all about to kiss right here. And this is not okay. Back up. And the way like and she egging it on. I'm like, girl, back up. This ain't it. This not it. Like and when I didn't realize they were cousins, the one they marrying her to, it's just weird.
Yeah, it's their cousins they're marrying her.
But they were this is so sad. But I was like, oh, they're having fun with it. They're smiling. They're all smiling. I was like, this is one thing. Because every time everybody frowning and shit, at least they were smiling.
But that's what makes this show so weird, right? Is because you go, hey, we're family and we're going to keep it in family. So we're going to marry family, right? And then the uncle comes around and he's like, hey, I want to play by the same games. Not you, you sick fuck. Okay? You're not the family we were referring to. You nasty. Get your ass out of here. And it's like, I'm sorry. Is this not family you about to marry off? Yeah, but it's different. We're doing this for power. You actually want nasty stuff from it, you nasty buzzard. It's just weird. It's just weird, and I don't judge it like most people do. I get it. It's the times that those people lived in. But goddamn, is it just so weird to truly enjoy it when they make it so southern, right? Like it's so
Look, this is bad. But I had no problem anything except for Rhaenyra and Damon.
Wait, this comment, Trevon.
Cole is tripping. You don't want to be a French King side of Listen.
Man.
This is what I was saying. I was like, why are you mad? Like, she gonna have all the money. Right. All the money you can want. Anything you want, but you could be chilling. Like, what you mean? What you mad about? Like, you still be right there beside her. She not gonna be fucking him. She not gonna touch him.
You know what, Trevon?
Yeah,
that's a bigger.
That ain't gonna be pleasure.
You're not. She's not gonna touch him. Like,
that's a bigger societal problem.
Like,
the world makes you think being a side chick or a side dude is bad. It's not. It's a come up. You lack, right? You could say I don't have any responsibilities as a boyfriend or girlfriend. But I'm still getting the responsibilities of a boyfriend or girlfriend, right? Like the luxuries of it, right? Without all the hard work.
And
it's a beautiful concept. It truly is.
They had an agreement, so you didn't have to sneak around him. You could have walked up in that bitch while he right there. And it was fine. Like, I didn't understand. I was like, what is the problem here? She said they have an agreement. Y'all not going to be sneaking around. Like, you can literally walk in the room with both of them right there, and he ain't going to give a shit. Like, you would have been fine.
But to be fair, Trevon, we do got to give her bodyguard. I refuse to give him a name. Fuck him. But we do have to give him a little bit of slack. Okay. Apparently, that was his first time at the rodeo, and she put that thing on him. It happens.
Sir Kristen.
Yeah, it happens, Trevon. He's under a spell.
Yes, I remember his name.
Look, he literally was telling her, "Hey, that is for me, or I'll kill myself." And she said,
"But it was only for you."
Well, that's what bothers me. Is like, what the fuck? Because when they were talking, the two side pieces, what caused that ruckus? Like, what did he say?
The two sweet and sour sauces when they were talking.
No, because he was egging them on. He's like, "Don't they look good together?" And I was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "What?"
But
what
does it deserve an ass whooping?
This is messy.
I'm like, if anybody at this wedding should be high fiving, it should be you two. You two should be the only people here that are best of friends. It's like, oh, no one knows.
He came over there to fuck with him. I was like, what are you doing? He is
that should be your friend.
He is a literal bodyguard. He can't kill you. Like, what are you doing?
All right. So I don't want us to go too much down a hole. So I want to ask this, Juwaan. Start off with you. Who do you think started the brawl?
This dude must have said something that set him off. I'm not sure
what messy.
Yeah, but even then, it wasn't worth an ass whooping. There had to be more.
Not like that.
So Kristen wasn't mentally stable. So
no, true, but still, I mean, it was so random that he beat his ass so bad. So he looked angry. Like,
I will say, Sir Kristen set men back at least 10, 15 years. At least. Because now you got the narrative of that's what happens to us. You can't be out in these streets like that. You got to represent us, dog. You can't. With your princess looking that beautiful, you can't have us out here like we starstruck. You got to represent for us. And then you like, if I can't have her, I'll kill myself. It's not that serious. I mean, I may have done that myself, but it's not that serious, dog, okay? All right?
Now
there's somebody else in that kingdom.
Now he about to be tortured for real. Like,
I don't think so. I don't think so.
The husband gonna want some revenge. Like, you done messed up. For sure. You done messed up.
Well, remember. Oh, wait. Let me ask you guys this before I go into it. You saw the trailer, Trevon, for next week's episode.
Oh, I absolutely saw it. And I don't know what
did you see it?
I have not.
Okay, then I don't want to talk about it because I know some people don't like it.
I would say it. I just forget that it's on at the end.
No. That's fine. Because to me, Joel,
I want to see the trailer. I forget that it's on at the end, so I just usually skip it.
To me, if you haven't seen it, I'd much rather you either wait till you actually see it or just wait till the episode drops. I don't want to say anything. I'll just wait. It's fine. We can talk about it obviously next week after the episode. Yeah. All right, let's get off of this because this was an episode of Maury and Jerry. Maury, Jerry, somebody's Alabama wedding. Therapy. This was everything. Yeah, this was everything. This was.
It was a royal redneck wedding.
Yes, it was. It had some WWE in there. It was everything. It was everything.
The king died a few times. Like,
goodness, it was P Valley, Trevon. It had some of P Valley up in there.
Now, I'm gonna tell you something. When that happened, when it was sitting there, he would get a little closer. Oh, wait a minute.
I mean, when they announced that, though, I love that. That was one of the funniest parts. Is like when they were preparing them all because we knew they were cousins and shit. Mm-hmm. And then the mother was like, "Well, he's," I forget what she says, pretty much alluding that he was gay. And you're like, right. I figured all I didn't know at the time until she said so. When she said, I'm like, oh man, she's gonna.
I didn't even hear her say that. I saw when he was sitting down that grass.
Oh, that was obvious by then. But like, I already knew by then.
Here's the crazy part. When she was walking with him, like you're saying, when she was walking with him, she seemed so at peace at being married off for somebody that just last week in that episode was so against being married off. Yeah. So I'm like, something's up here, right? Like something's up, right? And then as soon as they started talking, and she was alluding to the idea of like, well, this won't be a problem for us. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it'll work out.
Yeah, some situation. Lit.
I see.
That's her side piece, but a gasket.
Well, yes. You gotta be able to control your side pieces. That's the problem. If you can't control your side pieces,
it wasn't against someone that was trying to get her. It was like against
the complete opposite. Yeah, it was the complete opposite. Yeah.
It was a complete opposite. Yeah, that was such a weird thing.
Goodness gracious. All right, let's move on to Rings of Power. A beautiful episode. In this episode, Trevon, I'm going to start with you this time. This episode, I really, truly enjoyed because I feel like now it's picking up. right? And I think because I'm not, I told you before, you know this, Trevon, you know this, Joel. I'm not the biggest Lord of the Rings fan, right? So I'm like, the lore isn't what attracts me, right? The story isn't what attracts me. I'm more so seeing the visuals of everything. And you almost spent $1 billion to make this fucking show, so the most important thing should be the visuals coming out of here. So now you're starting to get really into that. So the first question I want to ask you, Trevon, is because I saw all over Twitter, people were assuming there are 3 men they assume is the actual bad guy. Was it Sauron or Surton? Sauron.
Sauron.
Sauron. Thank you. Who do you think Sauron really is, Trevor?
Don't know. I don't know. I mean, I guess they're trying to make us believe that guy that fell from the sky is going to be that or something, or
right.
is that?
And then a lot of people thought the guy that was leading the orcs or whatever they're called was him. But somebody threw out not a theory, but a character that I didn't really think about till they said it. And they were saying the guy that the elf was chummy with in the prison cell.
The king? Well,
yeah.
I don't want to be king.
Right. And I thought about it, and I was like, I would be way more interested in this show if it was somebody I was not expecting rather than, here's our bad guy, this is our bad guy, all right, we're rolling out the bad guy. I'd much rather it be, oh, it was you. Well, I'm very now interested. Okay, where are we going now with this, right? So,
what are you talking about right now?
So, remember when the is she a princess, Joel? The elf princess? Is she an elf princess?
The one that she met?
Yes. Yeah, and they were talking in the cell. Yeah, and they were talking in the cell.
Galadriel.
What's her name?
Don't ask me names.
Galadriel. Her name is Galadriel.
No, not
Galadriel.
Her.
The actress?
The man.
No. He's talking about the guy.
Oh, I gotta look up the whole thing because aside from Galadriel, I don't know anybody there.
I'm not far from you guys.
I know Rundeer. Oh, how you say his name?
Oh, yes, the beautiful elf. Yes, the beautiful male elf. Of course, you remember his name. Of course. This is why you couldn't do trivia with Trevon.
Do not kill him. Shit. I was like,
this is why we can never do a trivia match with
Elrond. That's right. Elrond's also from Galadriel and Elrond, who are both in the original Lord of the Rings movies.
Halbrand. That's his name. The one that's in the cell. Whatever.
Okay.
Halbrand.
Halbrand. But all right. So walk me through your thoughts on this episode, Trevon.
I'm trying I'm trying to figure out if I'm thinking the right one where he helped them with the cart or whatever. I thought that was sweet. I was like, okay, that's nice that they helped.
Helped them with the cart?
Remember they helped the Harfoots?
Yeah. The big
yes.
Now I
know what you're talking about. Yes. Yep.
I thought that was really sweet. I was like, he gotta help them, right? Because the house they gonna make up with the pack or whatever. And the way they were like, oh, we're just gonna leave him. And I was like, what kind of group of family is this? Y'all not even go like, he can't walk, like, and you think you put him in the back? I said, oh no, we need to get rid of him. Whoever this guy is leading, like, something happened to him.
He's known as a stranger.
That was messed up. Yeah, I like that. I thought that was cute. Then you had Arondir. I don't know how you say his name. I don't know how you say his name. The pretty elf.
Arondir.
So when he's
Puerto Rican elf,
whatever he is, let me tell you. So when he's talking to the guy that runs the orcs, I didn't get his like angle. I do not understand why he let him go. Then I didn't understand. I was like, he just let you go? Like, how are you here? Like, I was like, what's going on here? This guy's a good guy now? Like,
okay, so I thought I missed something. Yeah, I thought I missed something when he just popped up in the woods. I was just like,
how'd you
did
get away?
I miss a scene? Like,
yeah.
But I think he was saying at the end of the episode that he was tasked with giving a message. So they sent him to deliver a message that, hey, we coming. We on our way. But what's confusing about it is they were chasing him out of the woods. Clearly they wanted the boy. We know that. But it didn't seem...
the thing that the boy had.
Right. Well, that's what I meant by they wanted the boy.
Yeah.
But it didn't seem like they had an agreement between him and the to me, it just seemed like I missed something, and clearly I didn't because you feel the same.
No, because he popped up, and I was like, "Wait, you were just in chains." What
Right.
Like,
really quickly, Trevon, Joel, we're talking about. Remember towards the end of the episode where they were running through the woods, the little boy got saved.
By Reindeer.
Yes.
Reindeer. How do you say?
Reindeer, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Reindeer.
We were saying what was confusing is the last time we had saw him in the episode, he was in chains, essentially being interrogated / tortured. Right. The next thing we know, he was free. We were just like, well, how'd you get free?
He escaped somehow, yeah. We
and all his gear back and everything.
Right. I'm like, they gave you your weapons back? Like, what is this? All right, they must have thought you was sweet out here. They're like, yeah, you can take your weapons. What you gonna do? Hurt us? Take your ass out of here.
Yeah, I remember he was free.
Yeah, that was weird. But what else, Trevon? If I pass to Joel, what else?
I guess the other thing was, with Galadriel, I guess like they sent her away, and all of a sudden the leaves started falling, and she was like, "Oh shit, bring her ass back, shit, bring her ass back, shit, we about to get flooded."
No, you know what she thought mentally. They weren't gonna say it because they don't want to be racist. They said, "I don't know what white magic you done put on my kingdom, but bring your ass back. You gonna answer for this."
Soon she sailed away good enough, but that shit started coming. I said, "Oh shit, girl, you better."
Yeah, she looked at homeboy, and he looked at her, and she was like, "Go get her ass. Go get her." Shit.
They changed.
You gonna fuck up my kingdom and leave? You got the wrong.
I just thought that was funny because they changed quick. But okay, we're joining together. We are fighting.
She said, "I am not working with you whatsoever. This is not my fight." Them leaves started falling. She said, "Hey, all right, y'all. So we going to war. So who with me?"
Y'all started leaves. Y'all saw them.
Y'all saw them. Y'all saw them, right? Yeah. Something coming. Yeah, we working together now. But Joel, what'd you think of this episode?
It was a good episode. Problem is, when I watched it, I was half asleep. So I remember in pieces. That's why I gotta stop watching it in the morning.
You want to know what's even funnier, Joel? I just watched it for the first time 2 hours ago. Forgot that the episode came out. Yeah. I missed it Friday. I was just I know I'm missing something. Friday. Yeah, my problem is I watch a lot of cable shows, and all my cable shows are starting to come back, so it's starting to clutter my week. So I'm starting to forget things.
I have a lot of shit on my docket too. I caught up with I forgot about Kaden last week, so I watched 2 episodes back to back.
And that's getting really good. Yeah, that's some shit you don't want to miss. That's getting really good.
I'm like, damn, I forgot about the double episode.
Double scoop. What are you saying, Trevon?
I binged the 4 episodes of Vampire Academy and all of Fate.
Oh shit! Yes.
See, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. Wait, Trevon, don't answer that yet. Don't answer that because that's actually one of my. No. That's one of my topics. That's our last topic before we get out of here. But the reason why I'm saying I was about to say Trevon, I'm holding out on this show for now because I see that it's weekly. So I think what I'm going to do, because you said they dropped 4 to start, right?
For Vampire Academy, yeah.
Right. So do you know how many episodes are going to be in total?
I don't. Probably 10 though.
Okay, so if there's 10, what I think I might do is wait for it to get to 7 and then just start. Because I'm I hate the idea that if I start these 4 and it's really good, I don't want to wait every week. So I think I'm going to just wait till it gets closer to being done and then just binge all of it.
Yeah, it's 10.
It's 10? Yeah, I'm going to wait a little bit longer.
I'll check that.
All right, but let's get into our last topic here, which is the topic me and Joel love doing, which is, hold on, let me bring it up. Sorry, guys. What have we been watching? And that's why I said hold off, Joel, because I wanted to start with Trevon, because what I wanted you to do, Trevon, is sell me on Vampire Academy.
I'm sold.
No, that's why I said just me. Because I haven't seen a trailer or anything.
Oh, I haven't seen a trailer either.
Yeah. So I want Trevon to sell me on it.
I can tell you why I'm sold.
All right, so hold on. Let Trevon sell me. Oh, you want Joel to go first?
Yeah, I want to do that.
All right, go first, Joel.
Because they were doing press for it. I saw it on Twitter, and one of the girls was there. I'm like, who the fuck is that? I'm watching it.
Okay. All right.
Oh man, I can't tell
bro.
you how many news stations I watch only for the anchors. I don't even watch it on with the sound on. So
in the background.
I get it. I completely get it. But go ahead, Trayvon.
Like, well,
Sell
she
me
was
on
there, and I'm
Vampire
like,
Academy.
she's selling the wrong show.
Joel's like, oh, y'all slutty vampires out. Okay, all right, I'll fuck with that. But no, go ahead, Trayvon. Sell me on Vampire Academy.
Oh God. So you want it? Okay, so so it is a school. Okay, it is a school that's built on these old rules about who could be the king, queen. They are vampires. Okay, so there's two. Okay, so there's two types of vampires. There's one that is the royals.
Mm-hmm.
And then there on the three. There's three. There's one that's royals, so they basically have all the power or whatever. Then there's the non-royals who are kind of pushed aside, and then there are ones that are called the Strigoi, who are like unhinged vampires that we know about, the ones that eat people, like the ones that are monsters.
Right.
And the school is protected from the Strigoi, and apparently you could become Strigoi if you kill people. Apparently, so yeah, and the royals also have some of them, not all of them, have elemental abilities. So like fire, fire, water, earth, air. So it depends on which one you are.
What the fuck is this, Avatars?
One of you get one of them. You get one of the powers or whatever.
Oh shit.
And then you're finding out, and then you find out one of the main character actually has something else. I don't want to tell you what that is, but she has something else.
Yeah, don't ruin it for me. Don't ruin it for me. I might start.
But it's really cool.
Tonight.
But it's really cool. I'm really enjoying it. And besides all of that stuff, of course, that's the stuff I really like, the magic and all that. The relationships are really cool too. Not like it's steamy. I like it. Like I'm liking the show. Yeah, I like it a lot. I knew nothing about the show when I first heard about it. I thought it was Vampire Academy. Now I love it. So
this is for you, Trayvon. You can answer this.
I mean, episodes on Peacock, right? Yeah, it's 4 episodes right now. Yeah, it's 4 episodes right now. Yeah, it's on Peacock. Yeah, and it's going to be weekly going forward. Yeah.
All right, look, I'm gonna watch it, Trayvon. Let me ask you this: does it give you Sabrina vibes? Like being that dark? I don't mean like is it like Sabrina, but does it feel dark?
Oh yeah, it's definitely dark.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's definitely
Sabrina was a light dark. So that makes sense.
Wait, say it again, Joel.
So Sabrina was like a light dark. It wasn't like
really, because I consider. Oh, you know what? Let me be more specific. I considered it extremely dark because I'm comparing it to the predecessor of Sabrina. So that's why I consider.
Oh yeah, okay.
100% darker than that.
Yeah, this is not meant to be a comedy or anything.
Okay,
it's very much a drama. You might have a little funny moments in it, but it's not meant to be a comedy at all.
Okay. All right, perfect.
I wonder who this girl plays. I'm curious.
And Fate the Winx Saga.
Does it matter, Joel?
As well as
no.
They got Fate the Winx Saga got they curse a lot more. That's the first thing I noticed. And also
what? You said they what?
On Fate the Winx Saga, they're cursing a lot more.
Oh, really?
I was like, what's going on?
I mean,
well,
it wasn't like that last season. That's
well, to be fair,
and it got more gruesome too this season.
To be fair, I could understand that because remember, it's essentially supposed to be for our age demographic because we grew up watching the Winx Saga. Like that was on TV when we were young.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it was supposed. Well, yes, Joel, it was not when you were necessarily young, but for my generation, it was. So I could see it having to evolve.
Younger than me.
No, I said that's. I said my
I
generation.
love anything like that. Winx Saga. Look, as I'm watching Winx Saga, Vampire Academy, I'm just thinking, when's Witch coming? When you gonna? Have you heard of Witch before? I'm like, when you gonna do that show? Like, but I think the only problem is the show WITCH. They all got a letter or whatever. But anyway, so the Winx Saga for me, yeah. So on Fate the Winx Saga, I'm just wondering. A lot of people have a problem with the transformation, and I get it because they don't fully transform how they did on the cartoon. They get their wings and they get their heightened abilities when they're transformed, but it's still in their regular clothes. So it's like, you know,
I can tell you this: they got a season 2, so clearly it don't bother people enough. Somebody out there watching it for it to get a season 2.
You're right.
Because we know Netflix would cancel shit if it won't.
They sure would.
It's throw that shit right in the fucking garbage.
Yeah.
Shit, poor Paper Girls. Amazon said after a day, y'all got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't got to get home. Y'all ain't got to go home.
Get
the
the
fuck out of here.
step in.
Yeah, y'all can't come back. No, I mean, so okay, so Wink Saga. I'll probably never watch that. I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
I might.
It wasn't my thing then. It's
Okay.
it's
Oh,
definitely not gonna be
This
my
is
thing
not
now.
like this is. Think of a dark reimagining of that. It's not like the cartoon. It's not.
You know what? You know why I'll give it to you, Trevon? You know what? I take that back. I will give it a shot. You want to know why? I did not watch the original Sabrina. I did not watch the original animation of Sabrina, which is why when this came out and it looked so much darker and more adult, I veered towards it because I'm like, this seems drastically different than what those two things were. Yeah. And that's what I yearn for because I'm like, I think that Sabrina show was big. Shut up, Joel. I think that Sabrina was supposed to be big for when I was younger, and obviously the animated series, and I just never catered towards it.
Yeah, it was.
Right, I'm saying I just never catered towards it. Like I
was TGIF. If you like those shows, you'll like Sabrina. If you didn't, well, that's the thing. I was literally raised on those shows.
Oh wait, you're talking about wait. What were the other shows? No. I know what show he's talking about. What were the other shows in that
at the time? Boy Meets World, Full House.
Yes.
Who else was there? There's so many good shows.
Wait, hold on, time out. You guys are talking about shows that came out in like fucking 91, 92, 93.
No, yeah, when they started.
Yeah, so I was fucking born.
Well, I'm just telling you, that's the time period when they were on TGIF.
No. I get you. I'm only saying that because when you originally said it, I started feeling like, oh, damn, Joel has a point. Like, why didn't I like these shows? And I'm thinking about, I was fucking goo goo gaga. That's why I didn't watch that shit. I'm like, okay, it makes sense. That's why I said that. Okay, it makes sense. That's just fucking boring.
I mean, how old are you?
29. Just turned 29.
Yeah, that's what I mean. My cousin, who's 5 years younger than me, she used to watch it with me though. Mm-hmm. She was always on my ass, so I was like, she was watching whatever.
I mean, I'm 33.
Whatever I'm watching. No, here's the thing. I don't think you guys are that far from me, but you were older than me at that time.
I had a cousin that never watched live action shows. All he watched cartoons.
I mean,
so
if
now,
not for Nickelodeon,
now he's older, he doesn't know
life.
what the fuck I'm talking about because all he watched was cartoons.
That was almost my life if Nickelodeon hadn't put out some of the greatest fucking live action shows. So it brought me in. You tell me all that, Kenan and Kel, the Amanda Bynes show, Drake and Josh, iCarly. Yeah, it was a fucking renaissance.
I was
for
a
me.
grown man.
That was the whole renaissance for me. Would you say, Trevon?
I said the Secret World of Allison Mack. That was called.
Alex Mack. No,
Alex Mack. Yeah.
The Secret World of Alex Mack. I think it was.
Hey, you know what's funny, Joel? You know what's funny? Part of me wants to judge you for what you just said, but the funny part is I'm looking at my younger sisters, right? And they were coming to me at a certain point, and they were just like Hannah Montana, right? Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, even though that was still somewhat me before it veered off. But fucking Wizards of Waverly Place, like shit like that, right? Yeah. And I looked at them the way you're looking at me. So it's like, I get it, because there was a point where I was just like, Hannah Montana? Ew. The fuck is that?
So imagine, I looked at my nieces like that, because that's what they watch.
Right. Oh, man. I will say, though, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I watched all that shit in middle school because the girls only talked about the Jonas Brothers and the fucking Demi Lovato and all that. So I watched all that shit just to be in those circles. Like, yeah, I watched that shit. You did? No, but for y'all, yeah. Like, I think I know what happened. But no, before I pass it to Joel, Trevon, what else you been watching besides those two?
I feel like those are those kind of took up my time.
I can see one was 4 episodes.
And the Fate and Wink Saga was 7 episodes, and I literally couldn't stop. I really had fun. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what I've been watching. Other than we've been watching, She-Hulk and all that stuff.
Right.
But other than that, Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings, House of Dragons. But that's it. That's really it right now. It's a lot of content there. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, for me, I have not started anything new.
I get Cobra Kai.
Oh, right.
So,
I haven't started anything new yet because I want to first figure out this schedule for the shows that are coming back on TV for me. I want to figure that out and then factor that in with what I already have and try to see how I can stay on track with everything. It's a fuck ton. And then not to mention when we get our CW show back, right? Like when they start to cut. Not to mention Titans, not to mention Doom Patrol.
They definitely
not to
lightened
mention
the
all that
load
shit.
on the CW show.
They did. They said, "Hey guys, Stargirl will be gone before Flash comes, and you're good." It's pretty much just Flash out here.
That's true. Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm trying not to just overwhelm myself to where I'm missing out on the things we need to talk about for the show because I'm watching the things that I just personally like. So I'm trying not to muddy those waters. So I'm trying not to put anything else on my. Even though Netflix just, it's not new, but they just put out a like the most dangerous crimes or some shit like that, like real life stories of crazy shit that happens. And goddamn, did that put me down a rabbit hole. I was watching that for a good 3 hours. It's just like, oh, this is fucking crazy. But outside of that, nothing really. I've been trying to just focus on what we got here, for what we need to do for the shows and shit. I did just rewatch Rogue One to get ready for Andor. And goddamn, man, is that just...
Should you not watch Andor to get ready for Rogue One?
Yes, but to be fair, I don't have Andor yet.
What you did is you spoiled the ending.
I do want to meet that one person who never saw Rogue One. That I go, hey, Andor doesn't survive. Why would you do that? I'm just saying. You know, don't get
There's
too
definitely
attached.
someone out there too.
Don't get too attached, brother. Don't get too attached.
Man.
That's
What to know that somebody hasn't?
I believe it though, honestly.
Wow.
That really is. Hey, it happens every day, Trevon. It happens every single day. You got people that are going, oh, they introduced Daredevil for the first time. No, not the first time. He definitely lived over at Netflix for a long time.
For a hot minute.
So you should maybe go check that out. You don't need it for this, but
Right.
you kind of think that Daredevil just popped up out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah,
can't
yeah,
wait
yeah,
2
yeah.
years.
On Disney Plus.
Right there.
It's right there. You ain't gotta go far. Gotta go far.
There's a reference.
What was I gonna say? All right, Joel, because you usually watch a whole shit ton of shit.
I do watch a whole shit ton of shit.
You do.
Obviously, my superhero shows take precedence,
100%.
so they come first.
As they
She-Hulk and Stargirl.
Which, by the way,
I have
phenomenal
Stargirl
fucking episode.
going.
Yeah.
Phenomenal
I haven't
episode
watched
this
them.
last episode.
It's been good. I mean, it's
Trevon,
usually
you
good.
are missing out.
I watched the first episode.
Okay.
You are really missing out.
But
These
I saw
last two
that
episodes are
The
really
murder
good.
at the end. And I was like,
Yeah, it's a murder mystery. Who killed the gambler or whatever his name is?
Yep. No, you're right. It's a gambler. It's a
Yeah.
gambler. Yeah. But it's phenomenal. It's the A story and the B story are both fucking phenomenal. And you know what's crazy, Trevon? We're nowhere near the actual fucking story of this season. Because remember how last season ended? We're nowhere near where that ended.
Mr. Boom.
So it's like we're supposed to be getting a Green Lantern back at some point this season. We're assuming, right? So I'm like, we'll see where it goes. But their A and B story right now is really fucking good. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
They casted his son, so I expect to see him.
Right. Oh, that's right. Because we were talking back and forth about how accurate they'll get with his character. Yeah, I remember we were talking about that. I remember.
son of who?
Huh?
Son of who?
It's Obsidian, right, Joel?
Yes, Alan Scott's son. Green Lantern.
Okay.
Remember, what's her name's brother?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so when she's looking for her brother last
Yeah.
season,
Okay.
they casted him, so he's gonna be in this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we were just curious how close to the actual look of Obsidian, though.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
so far they've been pretty fucking spot on with
Costume-wise.
everybody.
But we haven't seen what's her name's costume yet either, so we'll see.
Well, also, I think the only character they've ever done any injustice to is Wildcat. But outside of that,
The original, the
no, I
Arrowverse
mean now.
Wildcat. Even now,
I mean
Now-
now they're just like, why are you straying so far away from Woody? He's just a boxer. Like
yeah.
he's just a
no,
really
no.
good
But
fighter.
at least he looks like fucking Wildcat.
Well, yes, but my
Mhm.
issue isn't the past. My issue is the current. Because remember the first thing we said when we were
No.
watching the screeners, Are you doing Black Panther? Like, what is this supposed to be? Why is it so tech based? Like, it's just a fighter. That's it. Just make her learn how to fight.
That's
It's
the
not
problem.
hard.
It's like it takes time to learn how to fight like that.
It does, but when you progress, because remember, each season progresses over the course of a summer, right? So it's like, well, you don't have to tell me that she has to have 5 years worth of training. You could just say she's picking it up as she's learning. And I can believe it.
I understand that, but like, because she's also a girl that's just learning how to box, and it's like, to me, it should have been not boxing; it should have been MMA. But whatever.
She was like, "That's a whole nother fucking problem."
Yeah, I don't mind Ted being a boxer, but her like modern day would probably be more MMA. But
right,
whatever.
That's a way bigger thing today. Boxing was a huge thing back then. MMA is definitely now.
And that's don't get me wrong. I prefer a boxing match myself, but I'm talking about most of the people don't.
Yeah, I'm not interested in gladiator sports, so no, thank you. But no, what else you been watching?
So much shit.
We watched Pinocchio 2 weeks ago.
That was a movie though, but yeah, we watched Pinocchio.
It wasn't bad. Yeah.
No, it wasn't that bad at all. I enjoyed it. I just actually for the first time finished Teen Wolf.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I finally fucking finished. It took me years, but I did it. Now I'm ready for the movie. Because that's why I did it. Because I know they're making a movie. I'm like, I gotta watch it before it pops back. Actually, pretty good. I sat there I only needed 2 seasons. And
yeah, that's another show that I never started.
Teen Wolf is so great.
I like Teen Wolf. Yeah.
I told you guys the only reason I didn't start Teen Wolf is because it came out right around the same time. I'm sorry, not around the same time. In the era of Twilight. And at that point, I had fucking given up on monsters. Very different than Twilight. No. I'm not comparing it. Twilight made me give up on monsters for a while. So it coming out in that era
was more like Buffy, kind of. It was closer to Buffy and Angel than it was.
You never watched that either, right?
I only somewhat watched Buffy. I was more charmed than I was Buffy.
Dark Willow's all I think about when I think about Buffy now. I can't help it.
Whole weapon. I wasn't a charmed person. I was a Buffy Angel person.
No, I'm talking about Dark Willow and Buffy when she went off.
Oh, Dark Willow. Yes.
I love that.
She was a witch. There's variety in that.
She goes Super Saiyan. Is that what you're saying?
She's
Super
something like that. Something like it. She ripped the skin off of people.
Look at Trevon hyping me up. Yeah, she something like a Super Saiyan. You gotta watch it.
She ripped somebody's skin off. Like the whole.
That shit got crazy. That show was good.
I don't understand why they don't bring that back the same way they did Veronica Mars. Like it's so weird. Just bring it back.
It's Joss Whedon. Yeah, I mean it's not like they can't bring it back without him.
They could continue it technically. They don't have to.
Yeah, they could
reboot it.
I'm not against that. The only problem is your vampires now look old.
I'm only laughing so hard because there's not one person of that original cast that you look at and you're like, nah, you're old. I can guess your age. I can probably guess your age. 43? Yeah, okay, I thought so. Yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar even I looked at recently.
Gellar.
Oh, what did I say? Gellar?
Gellar.
It looks fancy, so I thought I'd say it fancy. She doesn't look old. Maybe I was looking at it. Don't judge me. I'm not gonna say that she looks old, but she definitely doesn't look as youthful as you need a vampire to be.
Well, it's funny you bring that up. I saw Alicia Silverstone the other day because she did an episode of American Horror Stories, which is something else I'm watching. She definitely aged, but it's just so funny. I didn't recognize her at first. When I saw her, and I heard her voice, and oh, it is her. She grew into a Karen. It's weird.
Oh, come on.
Trevon saying hashtag my Batgirl.
Don't do that. Come on.
It was a good episode.
Don't do that to Sharon now. Come on.
There's American Horror Stories is an anthology series, so every episode is different. Not bad.
I think it's called Stories, right?
Well, that series is what made Evan Peters, right?
Well, the original American Horror Story.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. But that
the
franchise,
American Horror Story,
yeah.
There's 2 different shows: American Horror Story and American Horror Stories. Plural.
Well, wait, wasn't Stories what made what's her name? She was the Dr. Joelle in fuck. In Glass.
I don't remember who the doctor was.
Oh fuck. Okay, hold on.
Story is one season about one specific narrative. Aside from last season, which had aliens.
Sarah Paulson. You talking about Sarah Paulson?
Oh,
yeah, Sarah Paulson.
Her, yeah. That's the original
Sarah
series.
Paulson.
American Horror Story.
Stories is this new one. This new
right.
1000.
It's only been 2 seasons. American Horror Stories.
I got you.
By
the way, I need you guys to stop thinking I'm stupid.
No, but it's not.
It's different. It's different.
They sound alike. They
It's
sound
not
alike.
the same
I gotta
thing.
be specific.
Because the way y'all keep saying, listen, you fucking idiot. Stories. It's, okay, I get it. I got you.
Yeah, I don't want you to get confused because you keep saying characters from Story and saying I'm talking about stories.
I got you.
All right, so yeah, those are definitely that franchise. But what I'm on Netflix right now. I'm obviously watching Cobra Kai. I'm in the middle of that. Watching. I just started The Devil in Ohio. I heard it was good.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm checking it out.
Okay, so the only reason I didn't start that is because I went to Amazon to watch the Lord of the Rings show. And there's a movie on there with the kid from what's the Carl Urban show? Why am I blanking?
Boys?
The Boys, yes. Remember the son?
Which,
by the way, yes, the one that Carl Urban's character was taking care of. Yes, yeah. Okay. I didn't know he was a twin.
Oh, really?
Did not, and when I say twin, I mean Dylan and Cole Sprouse twin. Like you can't tell the difference at all.
Interesting.
He has a movie out on Amazon. It's called Dear Mom or something like that. It's about these 2 boys who go to stay with their mom. Because their dad sends them to go stay with their mom.
Okay.
And their mom is in this mask that she never takes off in front of them.
I think I've seen that. It's old now.
And no, it just came out. Well, it might have came out earlier this year, if that's what you mean. But it's this year. And they're trying to figure out if it's really their mom or not, or if it's someone else.
I saw the trailer
trying to be their mom. Yeah. And it looked really good, so I'm just waiting so I can get time to start that. Then I can jump into The Devil in Ohio because that looks fucking sick. Yeah. I can't wait to jump into
I just heard it was The Devil in Ohio was good, so I'm like, I'll check it out. I just started. I saw the first episode like a couple hours ago. I'm like, all right, cool, not bad.
Fun fact: just found out last week that was a Deschanel. Had no idea. I don't know that was a Deschanel. You know Zoe Deschanel from New Girl.
Yeah.
Didn't know that the girl from Bones was a Deschanel.
Oh, she's related to her?
Yeah, they're sisters.
I didn't know
I didn't know that until Didge told me, and I was just like, "Oh, Pretty does not run in the family," but I didn't know that.
I saw her from. I recognized her from Bones. I did.
Yes, I didn't know until Didge told me, and I was like, "Oh, well, Pretty."
A show I don't watch, but I do know who it is because it was always on. It was on.
I'm going to tell you this right now, and I know this is going to offend people that love Bones, and I'm sorry if it does. Bones became my MASH. So you remember how there was a generation that their parents or grandparents would only watch MASH, and they would watch it fucking every day? Bones became that, because everywhere I looked, it was either Bones or NCIS. And I despise those 2 fucking shows because of how much they would be on.
It was everywhere.
Everywhere.
NCIS is still going, right? They got all these spinoffs now, right?
Always is.
Yes, Wilder fucking Valderrama is doing NCIS now. Wow. They got an NCIS Hawaii. Yeah. Fucking, wasn't Bow Wow in a Hawaii? I mean, in a NCIS at some point.
It's very possible.
It's fucking ridiculous. God damn. But I'm sorry, Joel. Devil in Ohio. We now know that the Deschanels are sisters. Yes, they are.
Yeah. I'm watching Riverdale. The newest season of Riverdale is now on Netflix. So I'm watching that. That's just weird because it starts off kind of like the new season, like Twilight Zone-y.
Mm-hmm.
Then it goes back to normal, and now they're getting powers. And I'm like, what is going on?
So wait, is this season the last season that you're talking about? The final season?
Next season is the final season, the one that's coming up.
The one that's coming up. So I need you guys to do me a favor, and this isn't even me trying to be funny. I need you to tell me how the final season is, and if it's anywhere near as quirky as the season Joel's currently watching, I will watch it until the season you're talking about, Joel, and then just stop it. And then just say I'm done with the show. Yeah, that will be my end. Yeah, so the season you're in where they have superpowers, right? Where they're trying to do the whole Avengers.
Slowly, yeah.
That's where I'll say no mas. No, I'm done. No
But if anything, that's what's been made it interesting. But all right.
so wait, so it was going downhill before that?
It was just I didn't know where it was going. It was kind of they've kind of met their end. I don't know where else they can go. And then they started adding this new element to it. I'm like,
so are you saying they found their Prometheus? Is that what you're saying with this season? Because remember how Arrow looked like? Okay, we might have to cancel you. And
I wouldn't say
Prometheus.
that. That was one. I don't know. It's a very different type of feel. Because you could tell it's like it was looking for new ideas, and this whole season is a new idea. The whole thing. It's very different. But it still kept the narrative from the last season.
I'm just picturing the poor.
They're always good at doing that, but it's still
they're weird, but I enjoy it. I'm
just picturing the poor 40-something-year-old who's like, I remember this character from the newspaper days, and they're like, fucking superpowers. What the fuck is happening here? Like, what is this?
Archie has had a lot of like crazy stuff.
Archie has the newest Archie comics are very weird.
Just trying to keep up with the times.
Yeah. They've probably taken inspiration from them. I'm pretty sure this new show, Riverdale, was based on those new comics, but whatever. Anyway, I'm watching Imperfects, which is an interesting show.
That? I want to start that. How is it?
Pretty good.
Recommend it to me.
Yeah, I still don't.
98% recommended to me.
Oh, okay.
I'm like,
I like it. I like it so far. It's been good. So I'm watching those on Netflix right now. I'm trying to think did I finish anything on Netflix? I probably have. I go through so much shit at this point. Now on Hulu, oh man, I'm watching a lot of shit on Hulu. Like I just told you, I just watched Teen Wolf on there. Mm-hmm. It was off of Hulu. I watched Little Devil. It's pretty funny. Which is the devil.
Oh, cartoon. Danny DeVito animation. Yeah. Yep. His daughter is in it.
Is it? Is she?
That's his actual daughter. Yeah, that's his actual daughter. Yeah.
She's good then. It's a good show. I mean, it's funny. It's entertaining enough. What else? I'll pull it up. Who's got a lot of schnizzits? I'm obviously Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings that you could just always watching them shit. So I'm never not watching them. That's never an issue. Watching Atlanta's back, so I'm watching Atlanta.
Oh, I still haven't seen last season.
Gotta watch it. Weird show, always a weird show for sure.
Donald for that.
The Patient, which is actually pretty good.
What's The Patient?
That's what Steve Carell and this guy, I forgot his name.
Describe the show.
Donald Gleason. It's just if I describe it, I might spoil it because I didn't. When I watched it, I'm like, this is what happens. It's interesting.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll just check it out.
Yeah, he's a psychiatrist. That's all.
Oh, Steve Carell. Yes.
What
I know
what
you're talking about. No, you might have said that, and I was blanking out. You might have said that. I got you. Okay.
I just finished Mike like last week. That was really good. I enjoyed that.
What was Mike? The Mike Tyson show.
Tyson
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep. Gotcha.
This Fool. I finished that. That was really good too. That was a comedy. Only Murders in the Building. I finished that like almost a month ago, but I like that show.
I'm gonna start it. My aunt's a huge fan of that, so I'm gonna start.
Yeah, it's one of those shows that it's almost like a modern day live action Scooby Doo without the dog. Is
it as quirky as The Flight Attendant?
Kinda, but not. It's all in the building. It's less adventurous.
I'm fine with that.
It's not as R. It's more PG.
That's also fine. I just like thrillers.
Even though it says mature, but that's because it gets bloody. But for the most part, it's not that serious.
But it is thriller based.
Yeah, because you got to remember who the main characters are. It's never going to be that crazy.
Selena Gomez and Steve Martin, of course.
It's more of a mystery than a thriller. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Some moments will win, but it's really like a...
No, Flight Attendant was more of a mystery thriller. Yeah.
That was more thriller than this shit.
And he's talking about only murders in the building.
Yeah.
Have you guys, one thing random I noticed today, I'm assuming this has been like that the whole time. Have you noticed House of the Dragons aspect ratio on HBO?
What?
I like how it's like, that IMAX enhanced thing that Disney Plus is doing?
Yes.
Yes.
It looks like that for House of the Dragon. Nothing
really?
that like
I never noticed that.
I started clicking around the other stuff. Let me see if anything else like this. It's just House of the Dragon. I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, is it shot at IMAX? I was just wondering. I thought it was cool because it fills up on my screen. I still enjoy that.
It
I
might
don't-
have been because
I
I
don't
think the
know.
final season of Game of Thrones might have been shot in IMAX, so that makes
Okay.
sense. You might have
Yeah.
just carried that on. Yeah, that makes sense.
Wow,
I'm
that
gonna
was
look
pretty
into
cool.
that because I didn't know that, Trevon. I'm
Yeah,
gonna look
I
into it.
noticed it
Me
today.
too.
Because I'm gonna see if I hear any interviews of them talking about like why they decided to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? I just started the Terminal List on Amazon. That's pretty good.
Joel, that show is so fucking good, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
It's pretty
Chris
good.
Pratt does his fucking thing in that show.
Have you watched Reacher?
Yeah,
Have you? Yeah.
yeah, it's good.
And I can tell you right now, you two have watched it for two totally different reasons.
The action was very good. Yes.
Yes,
that's
but the
very good.
difference is it was secondary, Trevon.
It was. It was. Absolutely was. I'm not gonna lie.
I watched.
Not gonna lie.
I like the Jack Reacher movie, and this is actually probably better. Honestly, the show's good.
Wait, the show is better than the movie?
I might be. Was that
I
good?
haven't seen it, but there's no way I can
It's
give
so
somebody
good. It's
something
so
better than
good.
Tom Cruise. No way.
It's so
To
good.
watch the show and then find out.
No. Off merit, no way I can award something better than Tom Cruise. Can't do it.
Peacock Star. I'm watching obviously Raising Canaan.
On Peacock?
No, on Stars. I just I went past it.
Yeah, look,
you said Peacock and then said, all right, obviously raise the
Oh,
camera.
it might be on there. You never know. He say he just left the stars.
No, but he can't take it with him. They own it. Yeah.
Well,
That's
he
the
says
thing.
he
What's
says
gonna
he
happen
owns it
now?
all. He said he owns it all.
Wait, say it again.
He said he owns all 25 of his shows.
I tell you what.
That's what
if
he said.
No. To be fair, 50 Cent says a lot.
And in the article too, though, whatever that article.
If 50
Variety
Cent
or
owns
Output,
it, if he owns it, there should be no reason why he's arguing with Stars. Just as soon as your contract's over, get the fuck out of there.
That's what
There's
he's
nothing to
doing.
talk about.
that's what he's doing. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm only saying because it seems like every chance he gets, he's shit
bitching.
talking it.
Right,
But
yeah.
I'm like, there's no need to bitch if you know you
I
can
think
just walk with them all.
I think he wants to take over the whole network. It's like, hey, we have other shows.
I mean, do you though?
You right,
Do you,
right.
though?
I know, but
Do you? I've
I
never seen
am
an episode of The
Stars now.
Serpent Queen or the fucking Highlander. I don't watch any of that
I
shit.
just saw this step up. The step up season 3 is coming. I don't know.
I didn't even know that was a show. I thought that was a movie. I went and looked at it. I'm like, oh, it's another movie.
It started
Like,
on YouTube.
a show.
It started on YouTube just like Cobra Kai.
I can tell you right now, Stars, the quickest way to die is for 50 Cent to leave.
Well, he is
That's the
leaving.
quickest way for
He,
you to
he
die.
said
So
He's
you'll die.
gone.
Yeah, you'll die. If 50 wants to, he can just do a 50 app where he releases.
Don't
all
give him
these
no
shows.
ideas. Don't give him no
Power
ideas.
I'll take it right now. It
No,
wouldn't have these
no.
long ass breaks. He would give it to us every week. Film it, give it to us the very next few months. I'll take that shit. Fuck it, over what Stars is doing.
I mean, he has all these plans. Like, what happens now?
What? I mean, hey, he might pull a Shonda Rhimes. ABC said, hey, you can't do it without us. She said, bet. Drop the gem right over at Netflix. Bridgerton. Boom.
Yeah.
Penis out, ass out with her lead. Right? Got
but
all
I
got the
know
whole
he can
world
make
jumping.
I know he can make a new show, but like Power, like the Power universe.
Well, if
He's
what
taking that with him.
Trayvon's saying is right, and he can take it with
he
him,
can take that with him. If he
Yeah.
can
that's what
take that with
Trayvon
him,
was saying. If he can
where
take it
would
with
you-
him,
where would
He
you
says
take
under his whatever his band whatever
his
Green
production?
Light Gang or
I
whatever.
tell you,
yeah.
I tell you this right now: 50 Cent can,
G-Unit something.
if he can take the Power universe with him, that's like Jordan becoming a free agent in '93. That's
Yeah.
dangerous.
why
That's
would they announce that new home
dangerous.
soon?
Why would they
That's what
let
he
him?
said.
I mean, obviously they don't want to let him go, but it's
Well, clearly they do want to let
He
him go.
must
They
have
keep
a
fucking up.
contract. I guess the contract's up. I guess maybe.
Well,
Yeah,
he's saying so. There was one week where an episode of Ghost was supposed to come out. They
Mhm.
promoted it. 50 Cent was hyping it. They pulled it off air the night before and scheduled it for the following week, and he was pissed.
why would you do that?
Pissed. That's what he was saying. Why would you do that? I promoted it to come out tonight, and now everyone's cursing out 50. Like, where the fuck is Power? And he's like, I didn't do it. They did it. So he said, I'm done. He said that was one of the reasons. But also, they're trying to get real more hands-on, and he also don't like that either. But I wonder what does that do for what's her name? Because, fuck, she's been like the EP for all these shows. She's been so
She's
hands-on.
gone though.
Huh?
I think she's gone though. Didn't she leave?
No. I think she's
I
still
know what you're
hands-on.
talking about. But yeah,
My question is, where does she go? Does she go with him?
What's her name?
I can't remember her name, but it's
I
so
know they
funny because she
mentioned-
was dating the guy who plays 2-Bit.
Who?
She was dating him in real life. Remember the gangster that plays 2-Bit?
2-Bit.
2-Bit. So the dude with the Gap, that was squeezing
What?
Tariq and Ghost.
Sounds familiar.
He said, "Oh, your dad was supposed to pay me."
Courtney
Kemp. That's her name. Courtney Kemp. I assume she's gonna go with 50. She's brilliant. If I were him, I'd take her with me. That's all I'm saying. Oh, all right. Before we go, I wanted to ask you guys this. Tadum is coming up. I still hate saying it. I think it's the stupidest fucking name you could ever give anything.
The smartest thing.
It's the stupidest fucking
It's
thing.
smart. No, it's smart.
Just saying it makes me feel angry.
I'm sure they already own it, so they're like, "Hey, do it."
Well, Mr. E, Joel was saying he's actually watching that now. He told us it was good. Me and Trevon haven't started it yet, but we will. I want to ask you guys this. We're leaving on this note. One thing that you're waiting to be announced, or you're looking forward to be announced at Tadum. At Tadum. I think it's in October, right, Trevon?
Yes.
Yeah. So for me, I'll go first. It's the Old Guard too. You putting my two favorite people in all of the world, Uma Thurman and fucking Henry Golding, alongside Charlize Theron. Yeah, that's too much sexy for me in one movie. I'm in. I can't wait for it. Hopefully they have a trailer, because I know they're filming it currently. When they did the trailer for Tadum, they were on set when Charlize Theron was talking about the movie. So I don't know how far off they are in it, but I just need a trailer for that movie. I cannot wait for it. I really loved the first one with all my heart, and I'm hyped for this sequel. Trevon, what's the one project you're looking forward to the most from Tadum?
The one project?
Yeah, only one, Trevon. Because I know you. The Winx, season 3. No, just one. Pick one.
Elite
I'm trying to make it difficult for you.
Elite Taste new season.
Who?
It's show. I call it Elite, but it's not what it is. It's a Spanish show that's translated. Whatever. It's showing Elite. That's very messy, very sexy.
It's really messy.
I love it.
It's all right. You already. If Trevon were a Powerpuff Girl, messy would be one of the ingredients I'm putting in for sure. Messy for sure. I did hear about that though, Trevon. I never saw it, but I did hear about that. So you want another season for that?
It's a private, uppity private school where 3 kids that are underclass or whatever get in, and there's death, there's sex, there's a lot. It's a lot. It's a good drama.
I mean, death and sex. Somewhere, somebody's like, "Well, that's all I need."
A lot of
I love it. All right. So I made it hard for you by telling you only had to pick one. Watch me make this hard for Joel. You have to tell me, Joel, what project you're looking forward to the most to be announced at Tadum. And guess what, Joel? It cannot be The Witcher or anything Witcher related.
Whatever.
Because I knew your ass was going to say The Witcher.
Which is great.
Can't be The Witcher. I know. It's a cop-out.
Thing I would have said if I actually had any thought that it would actually tell me something about it.
What?
Power Rangers.
It may, Trevon. I don't know how much longer you can go without saying anything. You announced it. Like, why are you holding it?
And you got the showrunner now and stuff. But...
Right. So maybe, Trevon. Hold on to that.
They do that, I'll cry before I break down.
I might cry depending on how good the shit sound.
I don't give a damn what it is. They only announced it, I'm gonna lose it. I'm like, yes. If they give me a reimagine like Winx Saga, like or how they did. Sabrina,
oh man, if they do anything like that
YouTube,
like that YouTube thing that they released all those years ago, shit, I'd be game. All right, Joel, give me something.
One Piece. I'm actually looking forward to.
Fuck, I should have said One Piece instead.
If they give me anything,
okay,
One Piece related, I'm very intrigued because they've been holding on to that fucker for long. So
for life, they've been this.
or Avatar. I'm very weird for Avatar.
To me, I'm like, if you feel the need to hold off, you hold off as long as you.
They've been holding it a long time now.
You take your time with that.
I like the cast, so I'm looking forward to it.
All right, before we get out of here, Mr. E has a message for us. Geek Vibes Nation, the story will be about Juwaan saving Rosario Dawson from terrorists. Joel will gun some dudes down with a minigun. Super excited for it. Well, I am glad you guys brought that up because let me see if I can bring it up here. Let me see if I can bring it up. just for you, Mr. E, to end us out on a good note, let me see if I could find this image here for you. Let me see. Oh, by the way, I'm getting anxious for fucking Black Adam, if I have not said that already.
It's only this only movie that's coming from DC that I remember. So
I am starting to get very impatient.
Oh shit! Wait a minute. Tadum's in 4 days.
Oh,
For
shit.
5 days. 5 days.
Oh, well, I'm glad I brought it up then.
that's this week.
I'm glad I brought it up.
There's a timer on the site that says 4 days, 13 hours. So.
Oh shit!
So,
Yeah.
for you, Mr. E, I'm going to remove everybody so you can see how we're going to... Oh, wait, I don't think the full face is in there. Let's see. Hold on. Let me remove you guys real quick. Hold on. No, the full face isn't in there. Damn it. The full face isn't in there. I tried, Mr. E.
I missed it.
Yeah, no. The background is me with Rosario. I was trying to show it for Mr. E, but her face is cut off. Yeah. But she was giving me the sexy eyes. I tried it, Mr. I tried it.
Oh, Wednesday.
Joelle and everybody keeps trying to say she looked afraid, but, you know.
She was definitely like, why does he keep staring at me? Man,
I was talking to her. Don't put that narrative out there, Joelle. Anyway, what were you going to say, Trevon, before we get out of
She
here?
wasn't worried about that. She was just like worried why you didn't blink.
I'm just looking at the list. I'm just thinking about the stuff that I'm like the School for Good and Evil. Like that's really intriguing to me.
Oh, I can't wait for. I hate that it's a movie, though. I
Me
really
too.
hate that
Me
it's
too.
a movie.
Me
That
too.
should have been a series. I'm very upset that's a movie.
I agree.
But you giving me fuck, why? You guys know I'm so bad with names. Charlize Theron and
Care Washington.
Thank you, Kerry Washington. That's really all you needed to show me. I'm
I
really
don't even know
confused
what it's
anything
about, but
else.
we'll
I
see.
mean, hey, one's a good witch, one's a bad witch. I want them both to be my witches. Anyway, on that note, thank you guys for joining us on an all-new episode of Much Ado About Nothing. Make sure you guys stay tuned tomorrow for GVN Sports as we break down Week 2 of football. It's been a doozy. We also break down the winners and losers of this week's fantasy football. Spoiler alert, I am 0 for 2. So, you know, life's great. Yes, no, Mr. E, we talked about it. We talked about you saying Constantine was underrated. We talked about it. I don't think the movie's underrated because to me, underrated means people remember it, they talk badly about it, right? But it really wasn't bad. I don't hear enough people that ever talk about that movie for me to say that it was necessarily underrated. I think it was properly rated for the time it came out in. And I think we could properly judge it for how well this second one does. Because that'll bring all the love from the first one out of the woodwork. So, for all the people that thought it was underrated, we'll hear it a lot more once we get closer to that sequel. But thank you guys so much. So, tomorrow, 9 p.m., GVN Sports. Thursday, we will be talking episode 6, right, of She-Hulk? Episode 6?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, episode 6 of She-Hulk. Hopefully, that's our Daredevil episode. That's our money. That's our money shot. We're hoping for it. We get them double D's back on our screen. We can't wait. Right? You know, miss them double D's, man. Can't wait to
More
have them double
blind
D's
ninja
back.
action.
And the last thing, guys, Trevon, really quickly, because I'm going to see if we can maybe do a stream Wednesday, like a really short one. Did you see Barbarian yet?
I did.
You did. Did you like it?
It's a comedy.
You can look at it as such.
It's a comedy because I was laughing. It's a comedy.
Well, I can tell you, me and Joel were never scared at any point in that movie. It was just a constant, what the fuck?
One of the producers liked my tweet about it.
It had suspense.
We actually, you guys can check it out on our YouTube page. We actually just interviewed the director for Barbarian. Yeah. Is up on the page, so make sure you guys go check that out. But yeah, the movie was more so a what the fuck than anything else. Like, they kept promoting it as the scariest movie of the year, and I'm like, I was never scared. I was creeped out.
I was some jumpy moments.
It has moments, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Joel, I don't even think me and you jumped at any point. I think it was more so, what the fuck?
I was laughing a lot. But that was because I was making fun of what was going on. And not because it was, like, silly. It was, like, freaky to look at. Like, it
was the decisions for me. I was like, what is this?
I will definitely say, for the people out there who have not seen the movie, I can tell you this right now. You will not guess what this movie's about.
No, you really won't. Man, you really won't. No.
By the time you get to the point of the movie where you figure out what it's about, you'll go, I'm not in the same movie, am I? Yeah. Is this the same movie?
I was narrating that bitch by the middle of it.
And there is a small moment in the movie where it looks like it ends, and you go, "That was it," and then it keeps going. And you're like, "Oh,
Switch.
shit!"
Like,
it fades to black, and you're like, "Did you just end? Did you Sopranos me?" You're like, "Oh no, you're still going." Okay, whew. Thank God.
It definitely
But all right,
comments
guys.
on Hollywood.
Yes, it's an important movie for sure, but a fucking weird one. It's a doozy. But I'll see if I can put together me, Trevon, Joel, and Didge to do that breakdown of Barbarian this Wednesday. So stay tuned for that. It'll be a very short one. We'll make fun of it, have a good time, and get the hell up out of there.
I had a good time. That's all that matters.
I did too, because it was so weird.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was about, so there was no way to disappoint me.
Yeah. When it happened, I was like, oh my God. What the fuck
I was just
is
like,
that?
I'll never look at certain things the same ever again. That's for damn sure.
Listen, from the trailer, terrible decisions were made from the trailer.
That's for damn sure. Yeah. And I will say this. Last thing I'll say before we go into our review Wednesday. There is they gave us a true black moment. And then they completely went against it.
And they reversed.
And they're like, oh, reverse card, reverse. But all right, so that was a little snippet. Stay tuned Wednesday, guys. We'll break down more for Barbarian. But till then, peace.
Peace.
Peace.